I'm at the bottom of the sea. I'll stay down, down. I'm just stuck here in a dream. I'm at the bottom of the ocean. I'm at the bottom of the sea. I'll stay down, down. I'm just stuck here in a dream. At the bottom of the ocean. I'm at the bottom of the sea. I'll stay down, down. I'm just stuck here in a dream.
WTF Nation Radio
is in the house.
Freedom is the right of all sentient beings.
It's 3 a.m. and the sirens are going off. Another rocket attack. I've got my boots and got my ammo in my 50-pound sack. A 100 boys headed to war in this world unknown. The only peace of mind I've got are these letters from home. Another day has come and gone. Another night I'm all alone. talk and tell you about it, but it ain't the same. All these thoughts that run through my head, well, they can't be tamed. Another day has come and gone. Another night I'm all alone. I didn't think I'd be this far out here in Kandahar. Another day has come and gone. Another night I'm all alone. I didn't think I'd be this far out here. We ain't far from Kandahar.
Morning. This is Command Sergeant Phil Blaisdell, U.S. Army, Alaska. Just want to talk about one thing as a senior leader. We need to be honest about getting help. I've gotten help in the past. I was going through some tough times after deployment, and I was really ashamed of it. I was embarrassed. I didn't want to upset my chain of command. I was worried about my career, and the only one I told was my spouse. Times have changed. I'm here telling you I'm not embarrassed anymore. I'm not ashamed, and I want to talk about it because I care. So as leaders, it's not about your ACFT score. It's not about the schools you've gone to. It's about the soldiers in your squad. Have you built a culture of trust in that squad? Are the soldiers going to come to you if they have problems? That's a true leader to me. In combat, when someone's wounded in the RTD, we welcome them back with open arms. That's how we have to welcome our soldiers that come back from getting help. Thanks.
This is a public service announcement from C.T. Fletcher. I will not contribute to the pussification of a nation. Get your punk ass out there and work for it, motherfucker.
Let's roll.
Morning, Sergeant Major.
How do you know what kind of goddamn day it is?
Beautiful morning, Sergeant Major.
Are you a fucking weatherman now?
You're listening to Sergeant's Time on WTF Nation Radio.
Oh, we are. We don't do ears like that.
It's like,
Hey, y'all.
Man.
It's spooky month.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and it's spooky month. Everybody needs to change their handles and start throwing your spooky. I love them. This is the best time of the year. Next to 4th of July and Christmas, of course. And Thanksgiving, maybe. I mean, we're doing it for the kids, but I like Halloween.
I do too.
It's like festive. It's like, can you say it's festive, but be festive and not sound like you're evil or something like that, but festively
Absolutely.
evil or something like that? Okay, go. Oh, man, welcome to Sergeant's Time. I am your host, Ice, with Spanky in the gunner seat as always, rocking the 50. And, man, this is, this, you know, if you played we played the message from Command Sergeant Major Phil Blaisdell, U.S. Army Alaska. This story is gonna get deep, and this is gonna be in discussion of a lot of stuff that has to do with trust and leadership, and I'm gonna tell you what right now, if there is things that are going to trigger you or upset you or get you down in the dumps or all that, and you feel like you need to step off the broadcast, and go ahead and step off. However, I would recommend that you sit down and listen in on us, because talking and discussing about it is a whole lot helpful than just being closed in and moping about it, if that makes any sense. You guys know how I feel about that stuff. You got to make sure that each of our teammates here in the WTF Nation are afforded plenty of opportunity to heal up, and like Phil says, RTD. So I'm excited to have him on. He's been firing it up on Twitter and other social media, talking about this is my squad. We also have a lot of other stuff that the Army we're going to be discussing. That I don't know, does it provide a little bit more stressors to how you are? I mean, this is obviously stemming from the Vanessa Guillen thing, and I guarantee it right now that they're now starting to look at really how we look at troops, I guess. What do you think? I mean, do you think it's more like it's about time they listened, or is maybe we didn't listen enough, or is the culture in our Army changing? Is our formation changing? Because I know, because me and Spanky, served for a while, and the Joes what we were are not like the Joes we have now.
No, I mean, there's obviously definitely a switch, from when we were privates, PFC specialists.
Yeah.
For one, soldiers now have access to every bit of information.
Right.
We had to go dig for it if we wanted to find something, it was,
right.
It wasn't in our hand and in our pockets.
Right.
So
right.
There's that. It
right.
was like the huge change. That's just in my opinion. So you're not going to pull one over on a soldier now.
Right.
It'll take them 3 minutes to look something up your wrong start.
Exactly. Yeah, they're going to call BS on you. They're going to go like, wait a minute,
yes.
What are you talking about? I don't.
And rightfully so.
Yeah. I don't think
but that's how easy it is to break trust with a soldier now.
Well, I mean, when did
the way I look at it,
right? But did we stop caring? Is this a check the block event? Is this the, I want to get all this stuff right here, because when the CSM comes on, I'm gonna let you gals know right now, we're not here to put him on a spot. We want him to talk. We'll get some real talk out and all that. So we want to get all this stuff out and discussion, so that way he can come in and discuss it too, because he wanted to be real informal. Didn't want any pomp and circumstances. I mean, he even told us not to get a haircut, and don't worry about we can walk around in PT. So
my hair's down.
I know what's up with that. And I was like, are you really for real? Are you really saying this? Yeah, exactly. So we're kind of hanging out. Chill status, but no, we need to have a real informal discussion, because there are leaders out there that are currently not getting it.
I don't think it's that leaders don't care. I definitely
Right.
don't think that's it.
It's like, I think yeah.
there's a disconnect.
Yep, exactly.
And I think, I'll just say it like this. Once trust is broken, it takes way too long for it to get built back up.
Indeed.
And I don't think it's that. I don't think it's a trust between a squad leader and a soldier. I think it's that. There's no other way for me to put it, but a generation gap where, the higher up it goes, is like you've already they've already heard the words come out of your mouth, and they're like, yeah, that's not how that works. I already read it like this,
right.
So that doesn't make sense to me. So now they don't trust you,
right? And
they don't see you enough to make them trust you,
right? So,
well, I mean, that's the way I see it.
Right.
That's just me on the outside looking in.
Right. No, you're right. I mean, well, we see it on Screenshot Madness. Yeah. There's a lot of when we do Screenshot Madness and we throw the text up, you can see the disconnect in how soldiers talk to how just junior NCOs and mid-grade senior NCO. Is there such thing as a mid-grade senior NCO, but a senior NCO talking, or a lieutenant talking to their platoon, and you see how it just gets out of hand. And I don't know did we lose something. I mean, these are some of the questions I'm going to ask Phil anyways, because I think I don't know, because he's really in there, to check it out.
I'll tell you the one thing that I see on Screenshot Madness all the time.
Go for it.
And this is where you can see it, is this isn't coming from me, but this needs to happen. Sergeants aren't owning, the directives they're giving to their soldiers anymore. So that is where that disconnect is right now. You see it all the time. You see it. They're not owning it. They know, either they know it's bullshit or they don't want to own it for whatever reason, but they have no choice or no backbone to stand up to their hires.
Okay, so, that's on top. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you do. You see
you're right. It's
so Spanky was getting her ass shoot up and down on the side because I'm not telling my soldiers to do some bullshit.
Right.
I'm the one. This is bullshit.
Right. Right.
No.
You do call. I
know how to use the word no.
I could testify. You do call out of bullshit. There is bullshit to be called when you see it that way. I don't think that. You're right. It almost seems like nobody wants to own up to it. And is it using an excuse? Are we not helping in the leading process for those junior NCOs to assist them in that, to prevent that? I mean, there's a lot of stress factor in this when it comes to them. I don't know. It gets them. I think because of the COVID environment, we are really stressing the troops out bad just by the inundation of texts. I mean, getting bugged and harassed all the freaking time, you'd drive you up the wall.
Oh, I'm sure. You know how often my phone is on Do Not Disturb. And
exactly.
I'm not, and my 435 down from 600 unread text messages.
Yeah, right. And then
and I'm not even a soldier.
Exactly.
Getting this from a squad leader.
I know, exactly. Well, not to mention the 19,000 messages that we get in the WTF Nation inbox, so...
Yeah.
I want you to tell about this and that, and then a lot of it too. Yeah, D-Max has got a point there. Sometimes that it could be there's a lot of crying wolf, but you can't tell what's real. I could say yes and no to that, but sometimes you can or cannot discern. You as an NCO or a company commander are not it's almost how we're talking about the COVID stuff. Are you medically qualified to make that assertion that somebody's legally sick? Supposedly sick. There was over 1,100 IG cases that Morgan published out on social media. Morgan's on fire, dude. She's throwing that stuff out big time.
Right.
All the IG complaints that were being named, and then you're like, oh, damn. Not allowing soldiers to go and report, and man, dude, he is bringing, and I'm talking about Phil, Sergeant Major, he's bringing in a different, how do I say this, a different perspective, because that's why I played the video. I've never seen a CSM come up online and say that right off the bat. Have you?
Right.
I've never seen that. So.
Oh, I haven't either. Yeah,
so for him to do that, hey, you better listen. We're going to talk about this stuff. I don't want to, again, it's the whole freaking, we have this 22 at do stuff. We have all this crap going on, and this is my squad, and this is the yada, 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 and I just think we need to have a real discussion on what is considered legit. What is what is the right? Hell, they may not. We don't know. Do you know anything about COVID? Do you know anything about diseases? Do you know anything about that? Like, do you know anything about do you know anything about psychiatric treatments and psychiatric symptoms? Do you know anything like that? We already have individuals that want to talk about, and we're already seeing it. There's no stigma. Come forward, and then we just saw somebody on a board saying, "Hey, this person's taking meds for antidepressants," and I'm like, "Yeah, what?" Where I thought you said there was no stigma. But it's a tough call. It's a really tough call on some of that stuff on what you want. I can't. Again, you come to me with some issues, I'm going to refer you to the right people. I am no place, way, shape, or form qualified to make that decision to say, no, you're just faking it. No,
exactly. My 3 semester hours of psychology in no way qualifies me to make any of those decisions.
Right. And yeah. And the type of work that I used to do really does not qualify me. Because that's not. I know I do. No, yeah, you need to go talk to a doc. Hell, you can go talk to a doc, but don't talk to me. Go talk to a doc. Yeah, that's when you don't do that when somebody's bleeding or something like that, or you just slap on some first aid and slap a tourniquet and put some quick clot on them. And then you're good to go. Send them off to the medics. I am not qualified to make that determination. So we're going to talk about that again. It's going to be. So I caution you guys that this is going to happen during the interview, but I also I would hope that you guys would stick around so you can get some senior leader discussion about it. You might, there might be something going on that, hell, I didn't even know that U.S. Army had Alaska. I thought it was part of PACOM. Well, I mean, I thought it was, like part of PACOM. I didn't know it was like U.S. Army Alaska until one of my former bosses was a commanding general there, and it was like, oh, he's going to take command. He's going to go to Fort Bragg. He's going to go to to Fort Campbell, or he's going to go to JSOC. He's going to take command of U.S. Army Alaska out there. Oh. Army Alaska? It's like, we got Army Alaska? It's. I mean, I know we got units in Alaska, but I didn't know there was a whole different command. So we're going to ask him what the structure is about that too.
Right. It's cold up there. I don't know if I could survive.
God, I know. I mean, I was just joking about going up there. I know he's been trying to find out who the admin is up there, but we're not going to tell you. We ain't seen nothing.
I mean, I was there as a kid for a little while, but
right.
I don't remember much. And one of my friends, her daughter just drove up there. She's PCSing up there, and it looks beautiful right now. But okay, that's it.
Right.
I can go there for about 3 months, and then I need to come back TDY in the south.
Well, I got several soldiers that I served with just PCS from there, and they loved it. I mean, they had a blast. So I'm just like, that's pretty cool. So we'll get into all that stuff and discuss the nuances of U.S. Army Alaska. But today is October 1st, and it's also what? No more APFT. Today is the day.
Bye.
Today is the freaking day. The ACFT is now the test record. That's it. No more.
When they first started talking about this, I have my doubts, but it made it.
We did. Yeah, we did talk about that. We're like, no, ain't no freaking whatever.
I have my doubts just because I remember, going through the Commander's Total Fitness course like in 2000 because they were going to do this new APFT and it never happened. So that's why I had my doubts. But it's here.
Yeah, so no longer is the push-ups, sit-ups, and 2-mile run the most easiest physical fitness event that we could ever have accomplished. That
right.
See people still manage to mess up. No longer have to do it. The standards for the ACFT may be easier to pass but more difficult to perfect, which is, achieve the perfect score. The Army Times released an article about it and discussed, and I'm quoting this, to achieve a perfect score of 600 on a test where standards are the same regardless of age or gender. We'll get to that subject too later. A soldier will have to complete 3 repetitions of a 340-pound deadlift, throw a 10-pound medicine ball backwards over their head for 12.5 meters, complete 60 hand-release push-ups, run the sprint drag carry in less than 93 seconds, and complete 20 leg tucks. Now, all these, of course, are specific to different events. This is just to max it, though. And then run a sub-13:32 mile. So the Army first announced this plan back in July 2018. A few months later, officials began a 1-year test phase in which 63 battalions across the Army, active and reserve, tried out the ACFT's 6 events. So for the past 6 months, though, we've had some issues. We got the Rona. We got COVID. So the Army has put the physical fitness testing on hold. And COVID also slowed down the distribution of nearly $70 million in ACFT equipment to units. So, of course, the scores on the ACFT won't count against the soldiers until March of 2022 at the latest. Let me say that again. So if you fail the PT test right now, it won't count against you, soldiers. Now, of course,
say that one more time.
I'm going to say that one more time. Scores on the ACFT won't count against soldiers until March 2022. 2022. Dos cero, dos dos. For those of you who don't know blah. Zwei null, zwei zwei. How about that? I'll say that in German too. Although, again, let me say that again. The ACFT will not count against soldiers. Will not count against. I'm talking about some of excellent stuff here that really should be sinking in right now. Against soldiers until March 2022. At the latest, though, the policy changes. They're talking about having it come out earlier. Just a little bit earlier. Just a little bit earlier. One of the reasons why is because the Army is still grappling. No. They're struggling with quarantine and social distancing requirements brought on by the global pandemic. I
see that. And I'm sure there's still some equipment challenges, know, especially for Guard and Reserve units.
Right. Well, I mean, but still, Sergeant Major of the Army said, quote, if you can't do a leg tuck, we've added a 2-minute plank.
And I could do that.
And we need that core strength. So if you can't do any leg tucks, how do we build off that? The plank can help us. So you heard it quoteth on WTF Nation Radio and U.S. Army WTF Moments. Quote, if you can't do a leg tuck, we've added a 2-mile plank, a 2-mile plank, a 2-minute. Did you just say 2 miles? 2-minute plank. I'm sorry. So.
See, and you know what gets me about that? Everybody says it's core strength. I have no problem with that. You know, I could probably do a 5-minute plank if I put my mind to it, and, you know, I can block it out and do it. I cannot do that, you know, pull up part. I've tried just because, not like I have to do the ACFT. I'm just curious. I'm like, is it really this hard? Oh, for me, yeah, it is. I just can't do that pull up part.
Yeah, the
I
leg
can sit
tuck.
there and hang.
Yeah.
And like pull my knees up like all day. I can pull my toes up.
Right.
You know, but I just can't do that. I don't know why.
Baby ass can only do a half of a leg tuck. He can attempt one. He can almost do it, but he can't. But you know, I want to discuss my ACFT score back in the day. That is that's the past.
It's the past.
It's the past.
I don't know why. I've never been able to do pull-ups though. Even back when I was in super PT stud shape, pull-ups are just something to do. I don't know. It's probably ever since I injured my shoulder. I could never. I don't know. I just don't have. Like even doing like overhead arm claps, I can barely do those. There's like no weight involved in that.
Well, some of those exercises though are they of legit exercises to conduct? You know what I mean? If are they really strength exercises, or they're just, you know, torture methods or something?
Yeah, I'm better at the torture methods than I am the strength exercise.
So,
like I could do V-ups. Let's do it.
Yeah. I need to do a V-up without snapping a spine though, because my back's been messed up. I'll try to do a V-up tomorrow for PT and see what happens, and I'll let you know if I can answer the phone. So the ACFTs now test a record. So now again, I'm gonna say I'm gonna do a couple repeats on the lines here. Soldiers who failed the APFT prior to the pause of testing in March will still need to pass the APFT before they can take the ACFT. Let me say that again. Soldiers who failed the APFT prior to the pause of testing in March will still need to pass an APFT before they take the ACFT. So if you didn't do good and you failed the other one and you still have to take a PT test, don't worry about it taking up at the ACT. You still have to just pass the APFT for right now. Then that's it.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Now I had to think about that.
Yeah. So he anticipates that, Sergeant Major of the Army said that he anticipates the ACFT will force significant numbers of soldiers out of the Army. And he said the goal of the people is not to kick people out. The goal is to actually make them more healthy and physically fit. We're hoping this will have the exact opposite effect, and we will have less people injured. The majority of the anxiety soldiers feel in regards to the ACFT is because it's unfamiliar to the test. Man, we had just tune into WTF Nation Radio when we had we had that NCO.
Master Sergeant Horner.
Horner, yeah, Master Sergeant Horner. Shira. She's a beast on that shit, man. She can kill the ACFT.
She can do some leg tucks.
Yeah, she can do some leg tucks, man. I was like, holy crap, she's doing them at AUSA. I was like, God. I had to take meds just watching that shit. So
right?
I was like, okay.
My shoulder.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my! I tore my rotator cuff. You were just standing there. It hurt. So with the high numbers of soldiers non-deployable due to temporary and permanent medical profiles, making soldiers more healthy, physically fit is obviously a serious concern. In addition to physical fitness training, more focused on developing strong, healthy soldiers. Also with the hopes to build the soldier performance readiness centers. They almost said excellence. With a variety of training equipment and dietitians, trainers, and physical therapists on site to help the soldiers train well. Now, I actually think, to be honest with you, that there's nothing wrong with knocking out some PT. There's nothing wrong with doing some of that ACFT. If you had conducted like or rigorous physical fitness events anyways, you should be good to go. However, I understand that you may not have had. How we want to we all know how commands interpret policy letters. You damn right, cause. You notice I had to say that 4 times. It wasn't for the Joes. It was actually for the Joes and for the commands. So that way the soldiers can go, now I heard on WTF Nation Radio. Can you imagine your soldier having to quote WTF Moments or WTF Nation Radio to when Spanky said she was going to throw hands.
That. This is part of that generational gap I was talking about earlier.
Right, exactly. I mean,
we're trying to close that gap.
We're trying to close that, exactly.
We onto WTF Nation Radio.
Exactly, because we have a Cav man in our ranks. Then obviously we're always going to be in business. Hey, what are you going to bring me up? I'm not going to make him. I can barely pass PT too. But anyways, I'm serious. See, exactly, Josiah said. Ooh, man, that's a good one, Marty. The ACFT was put together by CrossFit crazy officers that failed soft selection. Ooh, zinga. Ooh, man. Yeah. I guarantee it. You put a soldier through Nasty Nick, which is the Special Forces obstacle course, one time, and they pass it with no issues, and they just roll right through. That's, hey, awesome. Good on you. Then you should have different points to the progression of how you make it through that course. It's an awesome obstacle course. But anyways, in addition to fitness training, they're going to obviously incorporate a new FM. Did you hear about this new FM?
I may have heard a rumor or two.
Oh my God, this new FM. If you guys have seen the memes already being posted on the main page at US Army WTF Moments, you'll notice there's the one where the guy's going, oh man, just cleaning his face. FM 7-22. Quoteth the regulation and the FM, soldiers can use short, infrequent naps to restore wakefulness and promote performance. When routinely, nap time. So when routinely available sleep time is difficult to predict, soldiers might take the longest nap possible as frequently as time is available. So when you tell your soldiers, hey, I gotta go talk to the first sergeant. I gotta have first sergeant meeting. We gotta wait on the word. That's the standard thing, right? We gotta wait on the word.
Yeah. We gotta
wait on the word. And soldiers are sleeping. Leave them alone. You have to ensure that they have according to the FM. Now, how is it? How is it that something that's supposed to help a soldier, like, I don't know, dealing with a quarantine and a pandemic, leaders just totally mess that up, right? They totally disregard that. But taking a nap, I guarantee it, they'll enforce soldiers not taking a nap. You know what I mean? Somehow, caveman, well, they're the same thing. Caveman. Calfman Carl, is gonna mess this up.
Like, what did we just see today? Like, sit in your barracks if you're on ROM with NACU or in uniform.
In uniform, yeah.
With the door open.
Right, all soldiers, and this is gonna be. This was going to be part of Screenshot Madness, but we since we're having guests, it ties into this. Also, the question that we have is that there's a screenshot. Well, I'll put it up there. I mean, why not? We really gotta. We could do a preemptive Screenshot Madness because after the guest is done, and the guest is done. But I hate it, dude.
Yeah,
I hate it. I hate the fact that
that's always been one of my biggest things. It's like you expect soldiers to do so much on so little sleep, But don't drink too many Monsters or Diet Coke in my situation, because they see me. Like, I'm not gonna lie, and you can ask anyone that has ever worked with me. I will bring an extra duffel bag with me to the field that is just full of Diet Coke because I need that to survive and not kill people.
Right, right.
That is because I don't drink coffee. I cannot stand it, and that's the only other source of caffeine.
Right.
I tried it once because I ran out of Diet Coke, almost threw up. So I was like, "Well, where's the grounds? Let me try it like that."
We were snorting the grounds. God, okay, you're pretty courageous. So I got it up right now. I have the screenshot, and it says also soldiers residing in the barracks will be in ACUs from 0900 to 1700 while in ROM status. Their doors will be propped open during the day. This will apply to. What's going on? Why are these kids? You guys don't have to worry about sending us redacted stuff. We got it. Just send us this. We'll redact it too as necessary. But I think this was a specific unit that would have a real narrowed down. Acknowledge this mission.
Because if it's like alpha battery, like everybody has one of those.
Yeah, exactly. Acknowledge this message and give me a thumbs up when your people have been notified. Damn, texting leadership. Why would the door be propped open? Why would you have the door propped open? Why can't they be closed?
Well, because then they might be napping.
They might be. Well, no, they're following
the new FM.
Yeah, they're following the new FM. That's right. Follow that new freaking FM. There you go, Sarns.
Because that would have been my reply, was a screenshot of this new FM. Like, this is my nap time.
Could you imagine that? I will take the freaking nap. Oh man, I'll just the Holistic Wellness Center of Excellence. No,
I mean, like, what is the reason behind this? Like, give me a good reason, because they are getting too much free time off, because that was like what everybody was flipping out of it at the beginning of quarantine.
That's funny. That's a good question. So basically, if you're letting soldiers take naps on duty, then why are they there? Why are you a poor leader at managing time, their time and your time, by letting them? If you're having your soldiers hanging around to take a nap, is that?
I mean, exactly, because usually, especially at the end of the day, when everything is done that you're supposed to get done for the day, but first sergeant needs to go see all the platoon sergeants. Say, this meeting could have been an email or a text message nowadays.
Yeah, exactly.
So the soldiers are just standing around. Okay, that's a perfect 20-minute catnap time, but
right.
Sometimes these last an hour.
Right.
And there's trilling thumbs, and nothing is going to change between 16:30 and 06:30 the next morning when they're at PT anyway. Let them go. Let your people go.
Oh man, there's some units.
Riled up because this has always been one of the things that has always bothered me.
Well, it's just, yeah, exactly. Well, it's always well, what if they do something? It's like people who always demand that soldiers get their shit inspected in the barracks all the time, and you're always harassing them. Well, in case they do something, or having their need to have courtesy patrols. That's why we have the UCMJ and local laws to do to hem them up.
Right.
Why?
I had to do courtesy patrol on Arab John in Kuwait.
Oh my God.
And I thought, okay, I did it in Korea. I could see some need, walk around, make sure soldiers aren't going to be completely out of their minds in the Ville. But I'm like, and most of the places I had to check were closed. I had to check the gym. Okay, soldiers are working out in here at midnight. Yay, good for you.
Yeah, why'd you have to go in there? What was the reason? See, that's what I'm saying. Why do you have...
That's just it. Nobody could tell me.
There are some things...
My order came down from Arsen to do courtesy patrol. Trust me, my lieutenant colonel, he heard it. Like, here I am, baby first sergeant is what they call me. I'm like, are you out? I couldn't even assign that to another one of my NCOs. I did it myself.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's no reason why. I don't understand. It's we're helicoptering. No, I've even brought this up to some of the main page admins, and we've gotten some heated discussions in the jock about the Army is helicopter parenting too much. They talk about mission command. Well, why are you requiring NCOs to like inundate their soldiers with freaking hang on. WTF Nation Radio, you on the air?
Hey, it's D-Max.
I know who this is. Yeah, what's up, man?
I had a question for Spanky.
Okay.
Are you proud of your girl going for Taco Bell? Then you get tacos.
This is Sergeant's time, D-Max.
I know, D-Max. Yeah, what do you... Yeah, exactly. Get out of here, D-Max. Get out of here. God, man. God. Really?
D-Max.
Right, dude? Exactly. Here, I thought D-Max was going to provide some sort of a very important and discussion, bring some input to the discussion about helicopter parenting and leadership. And here you go. Anyways, so no, I think the Army is helicopter parenting a lot of their soldiers too much to the point where it gets blown out of proportion to where a senior leader will say, hey, I think these need to be checking out. And it's a layer of additional bullshit by each leader going down the hill that is adding more crap to it. So for instance, it goes from the division commander, it goes to a brigade commander, then it goes to a battalion commander, and then of course they all have their respective CSMs adding more stuff to it as it went down, when all the division commander said was, man, the grass is looking pretty, I mean, do we have contractors to do this grass? And that's all he said.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And there probably is a contractor.
It is.
Now is no longer cutting it.
Right.
Because you got Joe out there doing it. Because
you got Joe out there because
probably the day
we got to
before
make
it's
sure
going to get cut by the contractor.
We got to make sure the boss is. You got to satisfy the boss. I'm going to go start throwing some limericks and some buzzwords and stuff. We got to satisfy the boss. We don't want to piss him off. We have to pay rent. What other euphemisms that we've said? Well, I'm pleasing somebody that someone has taken out of context completely. When a simple, oh man, we need some more toilet paper. And the next thing you know, we have freaking mippers and shit set done, and we have to have a change a whole new freaking funding site for our new headquarters because somebody said, hey, where's the shit paper at? That's how bad. No, for real. That's how bad it is. That's to the point to where we've added so much, and this is what we're seeing in the about. We have added so much onto our leaders, or I could say the leaders adding so much to our soldiers that like you said, that no one said anything. I got this from the BC. This is what needs to happen. I don't think the BC meant for you to freaking Zoom watch everybody and have them text in every hour on the hour. Oh, were you a bunch of control freaks? Yeah. Oh.
I mean, that's how it comes. Like, everybody needs to add their little piece, and as a soldier, I thought, like, why am I picking up trash in this field? Sometimes, right? Once I became, a staff weenie and started like seeing the op orders that came down, I'm like, all right, I kind of get why I was doing some stupid details now. It's part of this bigger post-wide plan to keep it looking good. That's why my one little piece of this big puzzle was picking up trash out in the middle of nowhere. Okay, so sometimes I get it. I just didn't see the big picture then. But I also see how, okay, it comes down from this post-wide cleanup to, okay, now this person added on this and this person added on that, and now we got a sergeant major picking up all the other sergeant majors, putting them in a bus and driving around posts to see where everything's hooked up. And then if you
you were talking about the time-honored classic at every major installation when they have what they call post cleanup. Or clean sweep, yeah, or red time, or whatever, immediate bullet creating operation that you want to have just for you to mow the freaking grass.
Paint rocks.
Yeah, exactly. So my point being is that you have the issue of I think that it's overdone. I mean, really think it's overdone. There was I don't know, what do you call it, a freaking mission command that was put out, which was supposed to have been entrusting your leaders to carry out your guidance and policies, and then watch them flourish, watch them grow. You give them a potato, and one unit will come back with a bag of fries. Another unit will come back with some potato chips. Another will come back with chorizo and papas. Hey, you know what?
And some will come back with vodka.
Exactly. So a lot of it is I'm thinking, why is it that we have to tell? Why even have have that type of leadership style, or that type of a doctrine of mission command, if you're just going to tell me what to fucking do it anyways? If you're just going to tell me what to do anyways, then why? I don't. Sorry, Star Major, go ahead. We don't have to worry about it because I got a lieutenant colonel telling me what to do. I mean,
right?
I don't have a platoon sergeant. I don't have a first sergeant. I got my battalion commander is my lead. Yeah, the trust
He sends me text messages every night and tells me exactly how to,
right.
shower.
Yeah. Did you do this? Did you do that? I don't fucking know. I got fucking first sergeants for that. Why don't you fucking? Hey, why are you calling me? Don't you have company commanders to talk to first sergeants? Talk to them.
I don't know. We seem to have this structure, for years and years and years.
A couple
How
hundred
old's the
years.
Army now?
I know, it was a couple hundred years. I'm about to say a couple
We've
hundred
had
years
some
of
birthdays.
change. We had some birthdays and
There's
some.
a cake.
Yeah, there's a
cake with a big saber that goes through it.
Right,
every
exactly.
year.
Oldest person on post, youngest person on post, and there you go. But I don't. It really is leading to a lot of additional stress that I think is it's. I honestly say we all have a lot to do with it. A lot of us have a lot to do with it, and I don't think that by saying, well, we really have to look at this thing holistically. Hey, you know what? There's a thing called a mirror, and it holistically looks at you back. you can holistically look back at it, and it'll holistically tell you it could be you. There are individuals out there that will say, oh well. No, I'm not cool with that. Oh no, it can't be me. Was that Principal Skinner on The Simpsons? And he said, am I overdoing it? No, it's the children's fault. He's freaking, it's the children, not me.
You live with your mother, Skinner.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like, you're thinking, there's no way. No, it's not. No, it's the kids that are messed up. Meanwhile, let's go ahead and, you guys want to go do a nice motivational run? And that's crazy. So, we're using that to go into the next story. Is they're talking about military suicides, which is of course going to go into the story of talking to CSM. So the active duty component saw an increase of 16 deaths, roughly 1%, and the National Guard saw more than a 30% drop, with the reserve down from 81 to 65, drop more of 4%. So the impact of the 2020 mental health service members is just beginning to show itself, and the numbers from the first half of the year emerge. And this is from a study that was conducted by the rates of, done by the Military Times. Megan Myers reported this. And at this time, quote, it is too early to determine whether suicide rates will increase for 2020. Karen Orvis, the Defense Department's Suicide Prevention Office Director, told reporters, we will need to have a full year of data and investigations completed to determine the cause of death. So far, DoD has released only its suicide numbers from January to March. In the early days of COVID-19, the COVID-19 pandemic. I always say panic and pandemic, and I don't know. I'm just like the plague, and I'm just getting that. Probably because I watched a couple of Walking Dead episodes, and I was like, oh, I'm getting back into that again. Though the second quarter numbers are to be released within a matter of days, Orvis declined to comment on what's in them. So the Army, however, in an exclusive interview with the Associated Press last week, divulged that it has seen a 30% spike in suicide deaths so far this year. Hell, man. On Thursday, CNN reported that the Army's total stood at 11.4 at the end of August. 114, I'm sorry, at the end of August, up from 88 at the same time period of the year before. Then 35 of those in the month of July alone. The Army has twice the number of personnel, and the next largest force always has a higher number of suicide, but with 38 in the first quarter and 35 in a single month, it could represent a more widespread trend throughout the military. I can tell you some screenshots will probably fucking tell you that too. Indeed, counts of suicide released before the annual suicide report are still considered preliminary, but given investigators time to determine whether they were in fact intentional suicides or not, or caused by accidents or foul play. Is that even a term? Intentional suicide? Isn't that what a suicide is? Is intentional, right? I mean,
I thought all suicides were
intentional. Yeah,
they were intentional. They're suicide. If they weren't, then they were
a homicide,
not
yeah.
a suicide.
Correct. Okay, I just want to make sure. So Orvis gave examples of the past cases in which suicide removed the official name of cause of death, including the cause that was settled years after the fact. However, DoD statistics show that the majority of military suicides among active duty troops, 60% by firearm and 31% by hanging, are carried out in such a way that the cause of death is readily determined. Well, yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
That's some of the obvious there. Orvis declined to comment on the effect of the COVID pandemic. I guarantee the COVID pandemic has an impact of this.
Oh, absolutely.
I guarantee it. So
I mean, I would just say it's very hard if you're not seeing your soldier every day, even if you're talking to them,
right,
texting them, or seeing them on Zoom. It's a lot easier to miss something.
Oh, of course.
And then they're not around their buddies that would probably pick up something a lot quicker, even if you know your soldier very well.
Earlier this week, General Paul Funk, the head of the Army Training and Doctrine Command, offered that perhaps the Army should do a required yearly mental health checkup. This has a lot of people in uproar right now, just by the mere premise or discussion of it. He says that, in my opinion, quote, it's just like having to go to see the dentist. We all ought to have to see that behavioral health specialist once a year, he said in an Army 2020 Fires Conference. It's currently going on right now in Fort Sill. We were kind of looking at that. Funk's remarks reflected the biggest barrier in preventing suicides in the military, that no matter how many resources are available, it comes down to making people feel like they can get help. And quote, we've got to try to turn the corner on a suicide issue, and we've got to work hard to make sure people feel like they're part of our organization that can turn to us in time of need. Of course, Orvis did not outright endorse the idea, but said that was something the DoD would consider. We're certain looking at all possibilities, she said. Now, I'm on the fence on this.
I am too, because if it's mandatory, it'll be another check the block. But I like the idea because, the soldier that wants help but doesn't really want to seek it, hopefully those trained professionals can, pull it out of them. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So the ones that, it's another check the block, it'll just be almost like when you do your PHA, I only have 2 drinks a week type of thing.
Yeah,
you know what
see,
I mean?
But I don't want to.
So,
No. I don't want to.
I mean, bottom line, if a soldier doesn't want help, you're never going to force anybody to get
Right.
help with anything that they don't want to do it.
Right, and that's that's the kind of that's like forced medic. It's almost like a forced treatment. It's like, is it forced treatment? That's some of the stuff that, it's that line to me that I'm saying on the fence. And there's another issue too. There are a lot of specific fields in the U.S. Army that you cannot participate in, or you can no longer be part of if you seek behavioral health assessments or treatment. One of our guests, as a matter of fact, that we used to have, the guy from the kid from the 160th. He came on. Sorensen, yeah, the Chief Sorensen came on and talked about it, and said specifically when we asked him that so now what's going on? He said he could no longer, because of the behavioral health stuff and the alcohol related stuff that he was seeking assistance for, could no longer serve in the capacity of being an aviator, or being or serving in the 160th. That's heavy. That you're right. So there's a lot of weigh-in too of that, of what you consider, and it's also I kind of like seeing it. I think I'm this is purely anything stated on WTF Nation Radio is purely by the opinion of the person that said it, and not anything that has to do with representing the U.S. Army or WTF moments. I'm saying this as my own thing. I feel like it's forced.
Well, I think we need to get better, and we have gotten way better. I would say, since I first joined, at taking the discrimination away. And I think if it's just a yearly, checkup, you do normal physical checkups. If it's just a checkup, I don't think it should stop you from doing your job. As long as you're not going to be a harm to yourself or others, then it's okay to get help. We need to fix that part before we make it mandatory that you go get a yearly mental health checkup. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. No, it does.
If you're harm to yourself or others, then
right.
you need
it's just
serious help, and you need to be pulled aside and kind of take a time
it's
out.
Just there was a post on social media about somebody who was getting evaluated and looked at for an AGR board, so that way they can serve in an AGR, our active guard reserve at their specific state. And there was questions on somebody's taking medication, and I'm thinking that shouldn't. How is that even part of the board? And also, how is that?
I saw that, and that's nobody's business.
Bingo.
Especially SAR majors.
Especially if you're a SAR major, yeah. But you look at it, then I think it's just a recipe for disaster. We're going to take a break right quick so SAR Major can come on and we can shoot the breeze, and he'll probably chime right in and jump right in and join the discussion. But everyone go ahead and refill your glasses and go take a latrine break. We'll be right back. Shouts.
WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
Take it from me, Ice. You can't just float around space not caring about stuff forever.
The voice of U.S. Army. WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Shit in the bag, Pogue.
looking up and fading out. Cirrus shapes I found blow me away. Van Allen right around, pushing through. Skin is brown. Nature has us trapped in fear, so I get lost in sound. I wonder if you'll ever know why I am the way I am. I've been thinking a lot about time and space surrounding. Is there anyone who is thinking like me?
I am here determined to stop this future atrocity.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe. I suggest we use it.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
And we're back with part 2 of Sergeant's Time. Yeah. We have our guest, Command Sergeant Major Philip B. Blaisdell from the U.S. Army Alaska. What's going on, man?
What's up, man? Hey, so first I want you guys to know, your entire team, that I think was it 2010 that you started about?
Yeah, we're 10 years old. Yeah, we're 10 years old.
Yeah, so I remember that. I think I was a first sergeant, and I was like, hey, man, these guys, they were scared. Oh, hell no, man. And they got to the point a couple years later where I was like, hey, texting guys, hey, man, I think you're on U.S. Army WTF. And they're like, what? So really, as a leader, you guys have let me see things that I may not have been seeing, just in my barracks, something going on, something, and I was able to go out and check it out. Even if it wasn't my unit, I was like, oh, man, I need to go check this out, my motor pool, So I appreciate that. And please tell your entire team, thank you for keeping us leaders in the Army straight all these years.
No, we appreciate you coming out. It's other leaders. I mean, not you, but other leaders provide us the content to keep it going. It's a pleasure to have you on here, man. I know I was just telling Spanking the guys earlier, I did not know that there was a command for Alaska until one of my old commanders, General Raymond Palumbo, was the commander there, and I'm like, there's a command for Alaska. Could you tell us, Sergeant Major, what is U.S. Army Alaska? What does it consist of? What's its structure?
Oh man, it's crazy. We have me and General Andresiak are the command sergeant major. We have 12,000 plus soldiers, but the thing is, we're split. I have more soldiers at Fort Wainwright, about 7,500, than I have down here, about 5,000. And then we have relationships, like you were talking about with PACOM. Well, we report to U.S. Army Pacific, where I worked before, but then we report directly to First Corps at JBLM. And then, with First Corps, we kind of get tied in with FORCECOM sometimes. But we have, and I know a lot of people, this is one thing, a lot of people think, and I don't know if Billy Pouliot's listening, because we kind of rib each other about this a lot, but 425 and 125 have nothing to do with the 25th. They're a part of U.S. Army Alaska. They fall under me and General Andresiak. So that Airborne Brigade, the only one in the Pacific, and that Stryker Brigade, the only Arctic brigade in the Stryker Arctic Brigade up at Fort Wainwright. Those are our soldiers. Then we have some aviation battalions, and
that explains that explains the perplexed response when I asked him what's it like to have an airborne brigade. Blah blah blah. I didn't know. See, I was like, like I said, I didn't know. I thought they were all electric strawberry, but they belong. Yeah, okay, so why do they carry the same patch then? What's up with that? Is that just a lineage thing?
Yeah, it used to be 6ID. It's gone back and forth, but I mean, it's not OPSEC or anything. You know what's going on with Russia and in the Arctic,
right?
In China, and the minerals and all. Everyone's trying to stake a claim, and so now it's become important. It's always been important. I mean, they'll say someone had said a long time ago, whoever holds Alaska holds the world. It's a very strategic location, and the Army sees it with the strategies and everything out there. So, but the only difference between us and the 25th and some of these other divisions is we don't have a number, but we have the soldiers' responsibilities, and we have a smaller headquarters as well. And in 10th Mountain, old Mario Taranis, Me and him are about to go to Twitter war. He's more on Instagram, but we are the only Arctic soldiers. We are the only Arctic warriors, those mountain guys. But it's all in fun, though, and I'm hoping to get some of his guys out here to our warrior training center to get
Awesome.
The Arctic tabs. And he's a good friend of mine, too. So, you know, I can't really get on and challenge people. I want to do it in the winter when we're snowshoeing and skiing.
Oh man, yeah. I was like looking at some of the pictures there. I'm like, holy crap, them shits look cold. As a matter of fact, Billy's going to come back on here on later in the month, and he's going to give us our first ever Green Book AAR from JRTC. He's going to come on here and because he came on here, you know already. He's been on here before. And he said, "Hey, I want to come back and give you guys an update how we did for GRTC because he wanted to see what the paces were going to be like and all that." So we're looking forward to his. I don't think we've ever done that before. We've never done a Green Book AAR, JRTC rotation stuff. So on air. So this would be kind of cool.
Yeah. Hey, so I'll tell you this: when we're going to 125 is going to NTC in March, maybe we could do an NTC Green Book AAR.
Hell yeah. Oh, always welcome, man. Always with it. This WTF Nation Radio, and well, specifically this time frame, Sergeant's time. It's Sergeant's time. This is what it's all about because there's units out there and organizations that are in the Army that soldiers don't even know about that existed, and this is the place for you guys to show your wares. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, absolutely. And another thing about Tent Mountain, I look out my window right now, and guess what I see?
Snow?
Mountains.
Oh.
Mountains.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So you want to get...
I didn't see any mountains when I was there.
There you go, cracking on the lineage again. Okay.
Yeah, no, we're proud of our soldiers and the fact that we're America's only Arctic warriors.
Right.
It's something I take very seriously. And if me and the other division sergeant majors aren't chiding each other and having fun, we're the same as when we were sergeants. We're texting each other when we're on VTCs. Right. What are you talking about, dude?
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, you have, you got Sergeant Major chat. You got First Sergeant chat. You got the little group text that we have. Oh, I remember doing that too.
Yep.
That was fun. So now you said you've been there for like not even 4 months. And can you give us, let's give us your assessment. I mean, not really true, dropping dimes or anything like that. What did you see when you first arrived there?
It was hard because 125 was in Syria and Iraq, and 425 just got back. And one of the problems that me and the CG had, it wasn't a problem, but it was all new leadership, man. It was like everyone switched out at the same time. For the 125 up at Wainwright, we have a brand new brigade commander who's amazing, and a brand new brigade sergeant major, Dan Rose, who's awesome too. So it was weird. I'm there and I'm dealing with kind of the guys that were transitioning out, and I'm seeing stuff that I'm like, oh man, I can't wait to get these guys. And Alex Caprati took over 425.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I saw. And then, it's just so beautiful here. In the summer, and it's hard to get. I posted a couple things about it's daylight until like midnight, 1 a.m, and then it's daylight when you wake up. So, and then when I get here, we were putting the dark curtains, the blackout curtains into the barracks, which I'm like, how do we not have those already? You know what I'm saying? It's like,
yeah.
Alaska, we've been here forever. I don't know how in the barracks we didn't have blackout curtains.
Well, you've made dude. You've been there. You've not even been in there for, like you said, not even a short time, and you're making an impact. I think I've seen more, and I'll be honest because it's part of my job and part of to monitor all social media stuff for all the units, and I see you all over the. You are. I think right now it's you, the TRADOC DCG General Martin and General Donahoe, the rest of the mill Twitter gang. You guys are all over it. I mean, you guys are just throwing straight up, I don't want to say shade, but you guys are throwing it. You guys are throwing some good content out there. One of the things that you were talking about, you just did recently a Q&A with a fellow sergeant major. You were talking about your experiences when you found out you were coming to Alaska and your feeling about being a basic training, going to a basic training unit. Can you give the audience here a little bit of that?
Well, when I was coming here, a lot of the a lot of the people are like, hey, hope you hunt fish, kill moose and all that stuff. I'm like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. I've never hunted in my life. And I fish, I guess. I haven't caught too much. And the thing about Alaska is I want people that want to come here to learn how to do that stuff. And to experience Alaska and everything that's here. And the people are amazing. And both here and up at in Fairbanks, Alaska. But as far as coming to Alaska, you're talking about when I was a basic training sergeant major?
Yeah. Well, you're talking about being at the right place at the right time and what the Army wants to decide, and how you were feeling about just you made it. You were gonna be a sergeant major, and then now your feelings about, now wait a minute, I'm gonna be a what? Sergeant major?
Yeah. Yeah. No, it was. I haven't listened to the interview yet. It was amazing. I did it Saturday.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah. But so for me, and you know this, man, when as a sergeant major, you come out of the academy, and I thought I was taking a battalion at Fort Drum, 187 infantry. I put it number 1 because I wanted to be close to Boston because I'm from there, and I'd never been up north before. So, and then I got up there, and Army, they said, hey, change of plans. You're getting a battalion at Fort Jackson. And I was like, what? I've never been a drill sergeant before. I don't know much about the basic training environment. So it threw a curve into, what I was expecting. I was all, it kind of reminds me. You ever see the movie Kingpin when he was like the man, and he walked in, took the guy's pizza up and ate it, and everyone was cheering. That's how I was at the academy, man. I was like, yeah, they were like, Phil, you got your first choice. You got selected for CSM coming out of the academy when we could. I was going to exactly where I wanted to go, to an infantry battalion. I was like, oh my God. And then also they told me that, and then I was Woody Harrelson, bald, missing a hand, walking in, trying to take a pizza, and they punched him in the face. So yeah, it was rough on me. But then when I went to Fort Jackson, not being in that environment, I figured it out. The Army had gotten it right. Those environments, they don't need a sergeant major wearing his drill sergeant hat. They just needed a sergeant major that cared. And then with those soldiers, it was just like, you think you can go train every day of the week is a range, is NBC, is something to do. And if you take advantage of that and you go out there and you spend time with those drill sergeants and those new soldiers, it was awesome. But then I got a brigade there at Jackson, and I'm like, and then everyone's like, oh, hey Phil, like, you're trapped in the Tradoc pipeline. You're stuck. You're just going to be traded. And I'm just proud of whatever job I get in the Army right now. I've been in it for 27 years. And I'm going to do whatever they tell me to do. But I kind of, like, in my ego, I'm like, oh man, but then I got selected for the G357 and USERPAC, and that working for Command Sergeant Major Ben Jones. And then, I worked hard there, and I interviewed, and I got this job, and I'm back with soldiers again. And it all worked out. If you work hard, you take care of your folks, you care. In the end, I interviewed with General Andresiak, and I'm back with paratroopers and striker soldiers and everything that I wanted. So sometimes you may not think that things are going to go your way, but if, like I said, you work hard, it probably will go your way.
Yeah, but you also had some outside pressure too from your daughter, right? She was. I remember you saying that.
Yeah. So she said that. Like, she said, Dad, all I want for my birthday is for us to go to Alaska. So you just get that job, and that's all I want. And I was really happy to come home. And it took General Andresiak like 2 weeks to select somebody, but I got the job. So we're excited. I was here, I think I said in the interview, I was here for a short time in 2000. Before I went to the academy, I came up here, made the list, and I deployed to Afghanistan, came back, and went straight to El Paso. So I'm not a true Alaskan yet because I haven't experienced the winter. And everyone assumes that I have. I'm talking to first sergeants, and I'm like, no, man, I don't know how to snowshoe. I don't know how to ski. I'm going to be out there falling, tripping all over myself, just like the new soldiers.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So did you feel like when you got there, did you feel isolated? Did you feel like this is not the Army? Did you feel like this is what the hell is? I mean, as far as because you had to hit a point to where you're like, this is desolate. This is a different Army. Did you get that feeling when you showed up?
In Alaska?
Yeah.
No.
No, you get it.
No. It's a great place, man. Dude, we got Anchorage right next. I mean, you go outside of Post and it's Anchorage.
Yeah.
It's a thriving place, and even up in Fairbanks, I hardly ever leave Post when I go to Fort Wainwright, but they got a great downtown on 2nd Street, restaurants, there's fishing. I'm really happy to be here.
Awesome.
I really am. Like I couldn't think of a better job. Sometimes being my boss talk, guys are getting 82nd, Dave Pitt, and and I go, hell no, man. I am bought into this Arctic thing, and I can't wait. I come out every morning, man, and I want to see snow.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So,
and then the soldiers coming here. That's what I want. That's the culture I want to create with my leaders, my sergeants, and my staff sergeants. They're because you get kids coming here from New York City. Don't make fun of them. They don't have a license. They took the subway to school every day.
Right.
So we're the melting pot of America.
Right.
This Army, and when you have bring them in, man. I just had a talk with all the 425 first sergeants about 3 hours ago, and I told them, I go, hey, take them out. Get them out of the barracks. Take them even during a duty day. Plan a trip to the trails here. There's so much to do. There's mountains to climb, and that's what my passion is, getting these guys out to see stuff and not getting clammed up in the barracks.
That's awesome. Now the mission. Now let's talk about real quick. The mission now is because you're part of USARP hack, and there is it. I mean, it's busy as shit. You guys are still it's hopping and popping. So you already knew coming into Alaska what the mission set was going to be, right?
Mm-hmm. I did because, like I said, I was a USAPAC G357, so I had all the orders, and I knew everything that was going on. 25th and USARAC, and we got a whole bunch of folks out here. USAJ in Japan, 8th Army in Korea, 2nd ID. So yeah, we got a lot going on, and there's a lot going on in the Pacific. It's important. For a while, it seemed like everything was Europe, and then we shifted to the Pacific. So yeah. But right now, we're really focused on Arctic Warrior 21. I think the Army sees the need of having a trained Arctic division. Basically, if you can fight and survive in this environment, you can fight and survive and win anywhere, And I know Billy's got the jungle, but dude, you get out of your little 10-man tent and you can go march, or snowshoe 5 miles to the objective, and
you're like totally right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll be able to do that in the jungle or anywhere else.
Do you guys do any interoperability stuff with I guess the island, with the units on the island? Do they come up to you guys?
We do. We exchange. I send guys to the Lightning Academy for the pre-ranger, what they call it now, the ranger assessment, small unit, whatever. But and then what I want to do with Sergeant Pouliot is get some of his folks out here to Arctic training, and me send guys over to jungle training. But right now, I think the jungle school isn't operating. So, but yeah, we do a lot of work, and then we do work with Thailand. We got some other countries that we work with, but right now with COVID, everything is just. I just can't wait for it to open up and we just really start getting work. Oh my
God, I know. Can you tell the audience how much that's affected you as your organization and your soldiers? Do you really see the impact, don't you?
Yeah. Everything's a squad, and then as an NCO, this as well. I dreamed of just having squad, like if I could have done just squad PT every day, I was in the 82nd as a squad leader, you know, and sometimes we had to do company PT every day because some squad got caught asleep behind the Airborne Museum, or in the division sergeant major's like, it's company PT for everybody.
Yeah,
then you
I
have,
know that.
you have hundreds of companies running that, but at the squad level, and it's really empowering our team leaders and squad leaders. Like, this is the time to shine, you know, and it's not just texting. You know, I think you guys were talking about earlier. There's no reason why you can't go check on your guys in the barracks. If you're wearing your mask, you know, go to see. I do. And I tell the sergeant majors that I'm over there all the time. Why aren't you? So this is it's tough. And then with the leave, not being able to let folks on leave, and I've told me and the CG, so the soldiers coming from IET, they're not going on leave. You know, they're graduating and you know, they're going straight to their unit. And so the commands need to control the leave. They can send folks on leave. They understand that they got to quarantine on the back end, and when they come back here, it's just tough. And most of all, for 125, they were gone. They were deployed when the whole country shut down. So I really try to stress them, guys. You don't know. When I was in Hawaii, if you guys have been, anyone who's been to Waikiki, could you imagine it being completely empty on a Saturday afternoon?
Right.
Yeah, you're talking millions. I took a picture of it. I was like, holy crap, there's nobody here. I'm so used to it just being packed. So for 125, I don't think they realized how an impact it had on our entire country. You know, that going into the summer, from like February, March on.
Yeah, up to now, yeah.
Yeah, and then guys, it's really a leadership issue to get in there and get those guys motivated and talk to them. So I think it's been tough in all commands, actually.
So with that, how do you? I mean, you're definitely seeing some additional stressors with how managing soldiers is happening as well. Have you been able? I mean, you probably have, but I know there's been some. We had a screenshot. We normally do screenshot madness on Thursday when we don't have a guest, and we were just showing screenshots of, it's almost like helicopter parenting that we're starting to become. Do you see that trend starting to happen yourself over there where you're at?
Yeah, I am, and I really want to talk to the leaders. And one thing we have to do is hold leaders accountable. And sometimes commanders are going to make decisions that you never know what actually happened if something happened. Because some battalions are doing some stuff different. But I asked them, I say, hey, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but is this a good idea? I have seen that, and as a two-star sergeant major, I don't want to go and say, oh no, you're going to do it this way. And, completely take a mission command out of it.
Right.
Sometimes, and we got to trust and verify. We really got to trust leaders to do the right thing. And one thing I always tell them, don't accept. I told them, you don't in place security without just checking on them and giving them their sectors of fire and everything you're supposed to do. And we got to do the same thing with our soldiers. And really, we got to trust them, because most of them are doing the right thing. And we start to really focus on the ones that are doing the wrong thing, and then we punish everybody, which I'm 100% against. You know what? Hold those folks accountable that did whatever it was that got them to that point, and don't punish the good ones.
Yeah, it's a trend that I think is leading to more stress. I mean, we're really overstressing the kids too much, to the point where nobody knows how to handle this, and I think sometimes we just kind of template a conventional mentality of how we're going to go through it. We're going through a pandemic. Nobody's been through this before. We don't have the NCO guy doesn't have a pandemic chapter. You know what I mean?
No.
So it's kind of difficult to go through. You posted some stuff on social media about the stigma and seeking help, and like I said, we played your video earlier. I never seen. I think me and Smeggy have never seen any senior enlisted leader post something like that and get heart to heart. I know you wanted to talk more. You wanted to just talk. You didn't want to do all the formal stuff that we normally do for Sergeant's Time, which is I can totally understand it, and we'll respect that, man. But why did you feel like you needed to throw that video out?
So I, before I got here, Alaska had the stigma of. So we went. I guess I wasn't here, but they went through a span of some suicides. The Army was looking here. It was. But there was something happened last night, and I've been thinking about this for a while. And when I first started on social media, because I didn't start on Twitter. I know it looks like I have an account since 2018, but I didn't do anything on there until I got this job. And I thought, how can I reach out to my soldiers and get to, because this is social media. It's there. It's a platform for soldiers now. They have a voice, and they're gonna put stuff on there. And if we as leaders aren't accepting that and looking into it and taking action when we see some stuff, just like we did with you guys, and some first sergeants decided not to do it, and guess who was on U.S. Army WTF on Facebook? It usually was those guys.
Yeah.
So when I got on there, it's not about me. It's about them. And then I did PT this morning, and this was that video was completely one. I just put the camera up. I got this little thing I bought for when we do teams and all that stuff, and I just talked into it. And I knew I only had a minute. I would have liked to say more, but me and General Andrezi, we got to get the word out that it's okay to get help. Until we as leaders are honest about our past, because a lot of us went through a lot of stuff during the war, especially during the surge and when things heated up in 2004 or 5.
Yep.
It was tough, and when I came home, I couldn't adjust back into society. And if you read the book Tribe, it talks about that sense of belonging. And that's how I was with my platoon. And when I wasn't around them, I didn't feel right. And it took a while. And luckily I had, I'm a lucky one. My wife was so supportive. I'm still with her. We've been married, I think 28 years now.
Oh, good for you, man. Good
29 years. Yeah. But it's she's probably listening right now. He never gets that right. But she and I think she is listening, but she knows exactly what I'm talking about. So I went and talked to somebody to just talk to him. And eventually I came back to, I was back to myself. But these kids now, they don't want to. And when I went, I didn't tell anyone. I didn't tell anyone because I was scared. I was scared that someone was going to find out. I was scared that it was my career would be impacted by it. I was scared that I'd be, ostracized, outcasted, oh, you're weak. And to be honest, man, it probably would have been. But we change. We're here now. And it's important to the Army leadership that people can get help. And that's why I did that video. And it was hard because I knew, I said, this thing's probably going to blow up, but it's the right thing to do. And if I can do anything to get those soldiers to go out, get help, and we remove the stigma of getting help, I'm going to do it. So hopefully it helps. And it was, so when I was on PT this morning, I got a phone call from a sergeant major that we had, there's something happened last night. And that's what really made me come upstairs after I took a shower and make that video, because, everything's fine, but I was at the point, I'm doing something now. So I'm tired. I care so much for these soldiers. I don't want anyone to lose their life by suicide. So that's why I did it.
The reaction got everybody. What are you talking about? It was meant. It was in your gut. You felt you needed to do it, brother. It didn't matter. I mean, the way I see it, that's what leadership was all about. It's the right thing. We had a little back and forth earlier about General Funk proposing it being mandatory a little bit. Is that, and I know it's hard for you to, I mean, I don't want to expect you to answer you can't answer truthfully if you want, but I just understand that because you're, you know, in your position, what you're feeling about it. I mean, it's hard to talk about that type of subject without not overstepping, you know what I mean, without feeling that you may be doing more damage to good than good. Do you think that at all when you heard that he was talking about making it mandatory?
Yeah, you know what, I have I don't, whatever helps. Maybe it will help. I don't know. If it can stop one suicide, then I'm all for it. I mean, that's really how I feel about it. And I don't see. I want people to know where to go for help.
Right.
And also, I want people to know. I think you talked about it earlier. We're not experts. I'm not an expert.
Right.
Our sergeants and staff sergeants and platoon sergeants and platoon leaders, they need to know exactly, hey, and then to kind of look for signs, you know. And a lot of times you find out afterwards is that the signs were there, but their friends didn't want to report it. And when we get to the point where the friends aren't afraid to report it on their battle buddy or the ranger buddy, that's where we've gotten it right. And then with suicide ideations, you know, we get a lot of those. And when I see them, some of them, I read them, I'm like, man, I want to find these kids and thank them in person. The ones that actually took action, and the ones that those soldiers weren't afraid to go to for help. You know, to their team leader, their squad leader, to be able to say, Sergeant, my wife left me. Something happened in my life. You know, I think I need to talk to somebody. And for them to say, hey, Blaisdell, thank you for coming to me. Let's get you someone to talk to. That's where I want to get to. So if we come up with something that works, then I'm 100% on board.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. We were, there was an issue, and it was already posted on Twitter earlier about the individuals that are over AGR selection board, and I just thought it was kind of messed up that type of vignette is why people think there is a stigma, and why people think there is an issue if you report it, because I think the Army is going to have to look into every single one of its programs of what we do as a profession, so that way when you do reach out, it doesn't cross into, like, for instance, clearance holding, flying duty, leadership positions. Yep. You know what I mean? So we have to look at this. This is not just it almost sounds like it's a check the block. You know what I mean? So we have to look at this whole thing. I don't want to sound overly buzzword like, but we have to look at this holistically. And I hate, but you know me, bro. I hate buzzwords. But it's an issue that, yes, we need to tackle, but I think we need to be careful how we do it. Do you think when the whole issue that you arrived, when you said there was a bad mark on the duty stations there, what did you see there that was, or you could tell what probably was a contributing factor to the way that environment was up there before you arrived?
I think there was a lot of things we could improve, and we've done a lot up here. I think maybe we looked at outside sources too much. We tend to do that in the Army, when really it's leadership, engaged leadership, which, you know, and one thing I this Arctic mentality, this culture, like, and that's what me and the CG we're really pushing. We want these guys, like, we're America's only Arctic warriors, and I want them to buy off on that. But no, I want them to be proud of that fact, you know, and call home, and it was. I think it really was more. It was leadership and at the lowest levels, but I really didn't see a whole lot of really negative stuff. I did some one thing that I was really passionate about was our reception and integration process, which me and the CG have completely revamped. So we were putting the folks that you didn't want in your formation reception, and that's not what you want your new soldiers to see when you show up at your new organization.
Right. Could you tell us what you guys did? What did you guys do? What did you see, and then what did you change?
Well, what I saw was there was people that just shouldn't have been there. You know, like I talked to one soldier, and I says, hey, you know, they told me they did PT at 1630, which, you know, maybe they had early things and stuff. But then I asked, soldiers don't lie, man.
Right.
You see a brand new soldier from IET, he doesn't know who you are. He said, you know, he looked at me, Sergeant Major, we don't do PT here. It's kind of weird. And I'm like, what? It was like little stuff like that. And I know this is important. All this stuff, you know, I talked to the sergeant majors, everything we talked about, the barracks, it's like, they're like, why is that so important? I go, because it is. The reception integration, we need our best NCOs there. We need KD complete guys that are going to go there. And the SMA talks about it. The Corps Sergeant Major talks about it. The USAPAC, Sergeant Major Burzak. We have got to get that right, not only for the soldiers but the families. So when we're bringing these families and these soldiers in, I want the best I want the best NCOs there receiving them. And then when they're 100% ready to go, I want the brigades or battalions. They come and we integrate them into the formation. So that's what we're really working on is just the culture in U.S. Army Alaska, and it's working because we moved so I have one detachment south and one north, and you know we all bought in. We got the right NCOs. We're interviewing them. I go over there now, man, and it's just I tear up. I'm like I'm so happy right now because the reception NCOs care. They understand how important it is to the Army, to the organization. That they were. So that was a big thing. And then we're doing it up. We did it up north too. We got all with Sergeant Major Rose. We got the right people. Me and him were up in the reception. The soldiers are motivated. They're out doing PT in the morning. They're happy to go to their unit. Their units are reaching out to them and taking them out to training when they have time, you know, between their appointments and stuff. So I think the first impression of the organization is really going to set the tone for them being there. And then once they're integrated into the unit, the leaders taking them in, you know, it's going to be hard. You're a private, you got a sergeant, corporals, but it's all about a sense of belonging to that organization. So I really think we're getting there.
Did you do any changes to the way like LPDs and NCOPDs are being conducted, or were they being conducted?
Yeah, they were at the larger, like with the sergeant major, the brigades and battalions were doing their own. They were doing them. I've started, and I know a couple other folks have started this since, but a TIM's council, and it's just one squad leader per battalion. They get together with me and Staff Sergeant Harris, and usually I bring in my chaplain, NCOIC, the Religious Affairs NCOIC Tysinger. He's on Twitter too, and he's really good. I mean, he's like when I hear about something, like soldiers will send me DMs about stuff going on, and if I'm not down here, I'm up there. Tysinger goes out, and he goes and you know, and what we do is I never say why I'm there.
Right.
I just go and I'll talk. Yeah, it's great. This social media. I don't mean to get off track, but
yeah, go for it.
That's exactly why I'm on here. And I've had lots of DMs where they send me stuff, and so they're not going to you; they're coming to me. And then I'm taking action, and you know, and then they're seeing it. You know, I just pop in, hey, what's going on, guys? How you doing? You know, hey, you know, and I'll ask them some questions, and I'll get over and I go, hey, are you guys doing this, whatever it was? And they're like, oh, well, yeah, Sergeant Major. I go, you might want to think about that.
So you're wait a minute. So you are usurping the admin that's up there, the admins, the WTF admins. You're kind of like you're stealing their thunder. Is that what you're doing, bro? Is that what you're?
No. They come to me too. Yeah.
That's awesome.
They send me DMs. Hey, sorry, you know, and I respect that.
Yeah.
your guys, because they always come to me to let me look into the problem, and then if they know, I'll go look into it, and it's just been once or twice where they're like, hey, Sergeant Major, just want to let you know we're posting this, and I'll look and I'm like, okay, that's on us, hands up, guilty. So then we have to deal with this. So with social media, you really got to have thick skin. But for me, it's a tool to get out and for soldiers of trust to reach out to me, and then I can go out and fix it and get with the brigade sergeant majors, because they're really good.
Yeah.
About yeah. And then it prevents issues with the soldiers, and a lot of them, I would never say who they are, but I've had breakfast with them. When I go places, I've gone out to dinner. Well, he's gone now, old Peyton Smith. He's out. He's in the National Guard down in Texas, but he was. I got some really good soldiers out here, and they keep me informed on what's going on, and it lets me see things I probably wouldn't see.
No, that's it's better to have, like you were saying, it's better to have them as your trusted agents, but as long as it doesn't hit us. If it doesn't get to,
yeah.
I mean, like you were saying, the admins that are up there, they contact you anyways. They anything that comes up anyways. There was a question inside one of the chats. Does he hope? This is ask the CSM. Does he hope the new LTs arriving in Alaska know that he's in a nursery of leadership and wants to send ready LTs up to the Revenant Wilderness, and that where he is at is the nursery of leadership. We all know is in New York. He is he's an instructor up at West Point, and so So do you pull from West Point? I mean, you got any advice for any of the West Point students and cadets that are currently in class for them about coming up to Alaska?
Oh man, I love to have them. I love seeing. I just saw a second lieutenant when I was up in reception the other day. I said, hey, he's going to 3G. And I said, hey, welcome. He goes, oh, it's awesome, Sergeant Major. I'm so happy to be here. I don't think he was a West Pointer though. But no, this is a great, especially being in an airborne brigade. This is a great place for young lieutenants. And tell that guy, whoever it is, that he can reach out to me, DM, or I could send him some our command, our command briefs and some other stuff. Yeah, hey, if you want to come up here, we want you. We do. And then we're working with recruiting command about looking for, the kid from the Bronx. He might not want to come to Alaska, but the kid from Montana or grew up in the snow, upper New York or something, they want to come to Alaska. If they want anybody who wants to come to Alaska, we're working with them. Hopefully we get volunteers that want to come up here. Like I said earlier, it's a great place. But yeah, all you lieutenants at West Point, come on up. We want you.
That's what I'm talking about. Now for what's the you guys don't have to worry about having AFN. It's considered an OCONUS assignment though, right?
No, yeah, it is, but we don't have it. We got everything like you. We have DirecTV and
we have everything like you. I'm sorry, I'm making it sound like you guys are like in the middle of freaking nowhere.
Yeah, you remember we are a state.
I'm sorry. I know you bust my balls. You busted me about that earlier. Hey, dude, we have gas. We have running water.
Yeah, we do. We have running water. We have showers. We have but those guys. I've been to Korea. I've been deployed. AFN. All that. They've always been there for me, watching football at 4 a.m.
Right. So what's?
But yeah, no, we have cable and we have.
Okay, so exactly. I was about to say you have actual fuel. You're not running around in horse-drawn carriages to go chop firewood. The kids, no, because kids are asking me this shit too. Now as far as say how long? Okay, I'm interested in going to Alaska. How long do I go for, and can I bring my family? And how does that work?
Yeah, it's a 3-year tour. A lot of you re-enlist for it, or that's it. I mean, in the wintertime, you'll have to take a ferry here or fly. In the summertime, if you're coming, it's great because me and my wife, we did the first time we drove from, this is crazy. We drove from Columbus, Georgia, to Boston, all the way to Anchorage. But we had a blast. Well, now it's COVID, so you got to get through the Yukon in 24 hours, which anyone who's done that is probably pretty hard. You can't stop, because Canada's like, you can come in, but get the hell out quick.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. But it's just COVID. It's just like everywhere else.
It's just,
everyone.
it's just COVID.
Yeah. Yeah. Eventually someday you'll be able to stop and do what my wife and I did, just do 300 miles a day and stop at a hotel and have dinner and see the wildlife and the moose and the bison, the bears. Do you know there's one bear for every 21 people in Alaska? That's a lot of bears.
I was about to say that is a big time ratio there. There's also people asking the audience is I have friends and family that are asking about 13 fox slots because they're one of them's currently basic training. Maybe you can, I don't know, he want to see if he's got any 13 fox slots. That's what he's asking. He's asking for a son.
13s?
13s, yeah. Do you need 13s out there?
Yes, I need 13s. I need 13 paratroopers.
Oh.
I need to get with who's at the fires right now. He's on Facebook all the time, or on Twitter all the time. Jay,
and
yeah, I know. I it's like a family. This mill Twitter.
Yeah, it's like I was about to say. Well, Marcus Franson's on there too, and he's the battalion commander of one of the battalions in the at SIL. So we can talk to him. Yeah. I can pass information. I can pass my information to my friend to then pass more information to you once he finishes jump school. Maybe we could do that. Maybe I wonder if he's in the airborne program. I'll have to ask. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, he can volunteer.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't. In AIT right now, if they're in AIT or whatever, they can volunteer to come here because I need 13s. I need communicators, 35s. Kind of the low density folks.
Right.
I need. At 425. Actually, we just talked about that. I need to reach out to the centers of excellence and
here you go.
And talk to them, the CSM. Actually, Derek Gardner just took over down at Fort Benning. So,
right.
He's a great dude. He just got on Twitter.
Yeah.
So you guys
we got to get more of our bros back on Mill Twitter because then they don't. I mean, this is our new networking thing. I mean, if I was still in, this would be I'd be I don't know, I'd be all over the. Well, nobody would know that I'm an admin, but I mean that's the spot to be in for engaged leadership on the military side because you're literally projecting yourself, and you can ask, and like you were saying about the contact with your troops.
Yeah.
Do you think sometimes?
And then others.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, man.
No, I was going to say. Do you think sometimes people think like, hey? Why is a CSM talking to a buck sergeant? Why is a?
Oh, I don't care. I don't care about that at all.
I didn't care about it.
I am the same Phil Blaisdell as I was when I came in the Army. I like talking to everybody. E1s. That's something to me. And another thing when I got into this mill Twitter, I learned so. I like their lingo and stuff. I don't know half the stuff that they're saying. Like the E5s and the sergeant, the like Grizzle Bastard and all those guys out there. But I see what they're thinking, and it may not be my soldiers
right
that are talking about this stuff, but all the different ranks. I kind of know what's going on with the soldiers in my formation just by watching them.
Right, exactly.
And really, I've changed a lot of stuff just because of stuff I've seen on there, like with the Blue Book.
Right.
Like with the earphones in the gyms. I'm like, why can't they wear earphones in the gym?
Right.
Hey, they're working out. They can wear earphones.
Yeah, exactly. No, well, most of it.
So I learn a lot from those guys.
Right. I mean, do you think sometimes though, we just need to tell some of our peer? Well, now I mean I'm out, but you just tell them like, hey, dude, y'all need to chill and freaking realize that this is not the same Army anymore. That's why I think a lot of the stress and drama on our soldiers is happening too, because I think our troops aren't just seeing it. I think our leaders just aren't reading our soldiers very well. That's just me.
You're absolutely right, man. If you're not on board with just like that video I posted with getting help, we got to destigmatize, and the only way we are is to be honest about our past. And then to understand that the Army's changing, and it's changing for the good. I don't want my son or my daughter that I don't want them coming in the Army like what I came into. If you can't get on board with what's going on, in every couple of years we have some big change that happens, and then you got some folks that are like, oh no, we got to keep it the way it was. No, I hate hearing, this is how we've always done it.
Oh my God,
it drives me crazy.
Yep. Oh, I know, man. I hate it too.
Because it didn't work then, and it doesn't work now. So why are we still doing it?
Right. I know a lot of it too is I just think it's a lot of it's I'll be honest with you, I think they're scared. I think they're afraid of the change. I think they're afraid that it could affect them. Not so much the soldier, because I mean there's been more pushback from, I mean, we get a couple of sprinkles on the ACFT, but there's been more pushback from the seniors than we've seen. My biggest thing was, what's going to happen when we do this? What's going to happen when we do that? Once it was explained to me, and I was recovering from some of my injuries, and I was involved in the Thor 3 program, then it was explained to me what you're basically doing. I'm like, oh, okay, got it. Too easy. Next. And it was almost like, when we did the soft standards back in the day, we were always conditioned to train like that. Well, to a soldier that's never been in an environment like that, this is freaking them out. I can imagine the leaders saying, no, man, no, we don't need that. I hate, like you were saying, I hate that, man.
Yeah, I think a lot of us senior enlisted leaders, we're not commanders, man. We don't make decisions. We advise.
Damn. Yeah, that is a soundbite right there.
Yeah, we advise. I advise my commander, and we have a relationship where he appreciates that, and we meet, and that's what we're here for. When the SMA and the chief put out stuff, who am I to say, oh, we're not doing that? No, it doesn't work that way. And if you can't accept the change that's happening, it's probably time to get out. And it's just like, 27 years I've been in. If I was like, oh no, expert soldier badge, that's dumb. Are you kidding me? Why wouldn't you want all of your soldiers experts at their profession? Why wouldn't you want them? It's all about the training. It's not about the badge. That's just an example I saw a lot of pushback on in the ACFT.
Yeah.
How long, man, did we go? How long did we go with thinking that someone squared away because of their PT score?
Or they could run.
They could be the most incompetent person in the world, but they got a 300 PT score. Oh, send them to the board. No, it doesn't work.
Or a Ranger tab. Come on, we've seen it.
You're right.
We've seen Ranger tabs, and they're like, you're seeing like, dude, how many, how did you PCS to Dahlonega, or how long were you there? Oh, I didn't see you go to pre-Ranger. I did actually go, but didn't. Yeah, whatever, dude. I want to go again, but I can't. The other thing is that the ESB, and you're talking about that. The Joes are it's almost like the EIB. It's almost like, I want to say it, the Blue Cords kind of tainted it when they're all great. It's just now it's now mandatory. See, you guys are going to feel the suck that you have to have so many ESB qualified and ESB whatever. What does a soldier gain? What does a soldier get? For promotion points. Yeah. What can you give us? Can you give the audience just doing an ESB? What's the?
Well, it's not about, I'm telling you, it's skill level 1 tasks that they master, and then they go through the training. And we've learned from Iraq and Afghanistan that everyone fights, not just the infantry. So when there's stories that, there are things that have happened overseas where folks weren't ready, they got ambushed in a convoy or something. Why wouldn't we want once a year where our low density soldiers, our clerks, supply sergeants, where they were able to go and prove they're experts at those skill level 1 tasks. And like I said, it's not about the training. It's not about the tab. It's about the training. And I'm looking forward. We're doing our first ESB with 425 in, I think, April, March. We're not sure yet. But I'm all for it. I'm all for stuff that's going to make soldiers better and make soldiers more lethal and make soldiers more ready. So if that 982 Yankee, he's in the supply room, then he goes to ESB, he's doing the M249, he's doing land nav, he's doing everything, and then he's done, whether he gets the badge or not, he's trained, man. We deploy, and he's going to know what to do with those weapons if he's found he has to use them. So that's kind of my take on ESB.
That's a good take. That is a good take. I mean, don't get me wrong. When it first came out, of course, we're WTF Nation Radio. We parodied it. Me and my son did a little gag, a little joke about it, and we were just kind of joking around saying that anything you do, you get an ESB. So you find your line at points, Lieutenant, and then my son in his baby voice would, because he's pretending his first acting gig, acting like he's a lieutenant, and blabbing at me at baby talk, and then it was almost like expert action badge, you know. So it was a joke. Of course, it's parody and hyperbole that we're just, you know, joking and poking fun about it. But you know, I will say that doing this and working with you too, man, it educated me on changing my views on how some things, or how there is still hope for the Army. You know what I mean? You coming out and doing that video, man. I was me and Spanky were kind of like, shit, that we're taken aback. I mean, this is we have Marty says right now, Joe Martinez in the Facebook chat says he says this now, that if my son leaves AIT and airborne for Alaska, I will be super proud and feeling safe for his future. That's from one of the comments.
Hey, well, we want him.
Yeah,
and, we want him on the team. So
yeah, we'll definitely pass the info. He's on the net too. So I'll give him your I'll pass the deets on and stuff like that. So
yeah.
All right, hang on for a sec. We got somebody calling in, man. Hang on, let's see.
It's probably the NWTC.
It's probably NWTC.
931.
Yeah, I think so. No, let me see. WTF Nation Radio, you on the air?
Hey, Sergeant Major, how's it going?
No, hey, what's up? How are you?
Great, Sergeant Major. Hey, so I'm in the 82nd. Just had a question for you.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Go ahead.
Hey, so I'm a Sergeant First Class in the 82nd, and how do you like life in Alaska?
Oh, I love it. I spent a lot of time at Bragg too. Alaska, like I said earlier, it's amazing, man. There's a lot to do out here. The weather is great. It's about to start snowing out, but it's all about where you're at. No matter where you're stationed at, whether you're Fort Polk or NTC, there's stuff to do. And Alaska has a ton of stuff to do. And also, it's just a cool place, man. I wake up in the morning and I go to get the paper and I got to look around for a moose. Now, where else do you get to look around for a moose when you're getting the paper in the morning? So, you know, we need some first classes from the 82nd too. I'm sure Dave Pitt wouldn't mind that.
Hey,
he would. I'm actually his division master gunner right now, and I'm sure he'd be kind of pissed if I even made the phone call.
Yeah, well, I mean, you could welcome to call, but we were expecting somebody else to call. That's the thing.
No, man. I want to talk to you. You tell Sergeant Major Pitt I said hello. And if
I will, Sergeant Major.
Yeah, and if you're KD complete and you have the time, shoot me a note and you can come out here and witness it for yourself. We have a airborne brigade and we'd love to have you.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, Sergeant Major.
No problem.
Thanks for everything you do on social media.
Mm-hmm.
All right, buddy.
Yeah, no, you're great.
No problem, man. Thank you.
Yep. Have a good day.
All right. Out.
Have a good. Literally, are you like you're probably like the first sergeant major right now that's fielding PERSCOM HQDA assignment positions right now. We're gonna get hold of Morgan. We're gonna get hold of Morgan and start taking names.
Yeah. Roger Rendon out there at EPMD's.
Yeah.
What are you doing, man? You're messing up the system.
Exactly. You're not supposed to be doing that.
We got the manning cycles now.
Exactly. Put them in the next manning cycle. We'll put them out.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, Phil, we appreciate you you hanging out with us, man. And like I said, this is probably only because me and you shoot the breeze, in other outlets. It's great that we didn't go we're not formal. We're just shooting the shit, just like you wanted it, man. And it's. Again, the soldiers and the audience appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, no, you guys, thank you so much for what you do for all of us. And most important is taking care of our soldiers. Because, when you and I were soldiers, we didn't have a voice. It was just rumors, within the formation. But now, if something's wrong, they know where to go. And then us as leaders, we have to take action. So it's a tool for both of us, the soldiers and the leaders, to keep us straight. But thank you so much, guys.
Yeah, well, we're so glad that we can collab with you. Stand by for a second while we put everybody on break. All right, we're going to go ahead and take a break right quick,
okay.
And then we will have our another guest coming on right quick. Surprise guest, so stand by. Shots.
Sanctuary I provide. It's my
border. Now life, it's got a little harder for me. I fell in love with some girl. She told me that she was gonna rock my world. Now I'm stuck here with no money. Don't that just sound a little funny for you? Well, her name was Maria. She told me she was always by my side. Went home one evening. She was with another man. He tried to run and hide. I pulled out my 45. I told them that I was gonna take their life. Now I'm stuck here on the run. I don't know the animal I have become, so won't you save me? Save me! Won't you save me? Save me! Won't you save me? Save me! Won't you please put me out of my little misery? Well, I know life is short. Mom, you know I always try to do my best. Should've listened when you told me I wouldn't be caught in this mess. Gotta go now, Dad, I'm sorry. Everybody, all y'all need to know this is life, a true story. When you chase ass down in Mexico, save me, save me. Won't you save me, save me, save me, save me. Won't you please put me out of my little misery? Won't you save me? Save me! Won't you save me? Save me! Won't you save me? Save me! Won't you please put me out of my little misery?
Wear a condom? We're in Fayetteville. No one gets STDs here.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
And we're back. We have a special guest. Since we're ribbing on 25th ID right now, Billy Pilliot, Sergeant Major Pilliot, just kidding. We have he was talking about the Jungle Training School and the Lightning Academy. Well, we have Sergeant First Class Tanner from what school again, bro? I totally dumped that. What school?
It's the NWTC. It's the Northern Warfare Training Center.
The Northern Warfare Training Center. I have up on the graphics right now. I have the Arctic tab. I didn't know we had an Arctic tab.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, can you tell us about what the school does and how do you get the Arctic tab?
Yeah, right. So, what NWTC does is we provide a cold weather and mountain warfare training to all U.S. military and other designated personnel. And what that does is it enhances the warfighting capabilities for the U.S. and our coalition partners. On any given time, we also assist in rescue and recovery operations worldwide. We also do outreach missions. It incorporates a lot of the mountain and cold region operations and in support of the Indo-PACOM theater security. But what we do more so is we were talking about the Arctic tab. We provide 3 winter courses, and we are the premier winter course schoolhouse. And the first one is a 15-day course. It stands for it's a cold weather leaders course. And what that is, that's for your squad leaders, your team leaders, and that's orientating them to all the new equipment that they've received while being stationed in Alaska. Teaches them how to use it. We teach skiing, cross-country skiing, downhill skiing, and how to actually put that into a tactical application and move as a squad. Because, you don't want to be post-hauling it, just stepping through 10 feet of deep snow or trying to put some snowshoes on when you can ski and move at a much faster rate. So we're teaching them those courses in that 15-day course. We also offer a 5-day course. It's a senior leaders orientation course, and that's for all of your senior leaders. It's only a 5-day course, but what it does is it gives them a taste of what their soldiers are going through for that 15-day course, And it also helps them to understand how to better utilize their soldiers to reduce risk as they're doing these different missions in the subarctic and Arctic areas. We also offer a isolation survival cold regions course. That's for our aviators. That's also a 12-day course. And what that's doing, it's kind of like, imagine like a slightly turned down SEER school in the subarctic when it's negative 40 and you're trapping rabbits and learning how to survive and
God.
then evading the enemy. What's that?
That's a god. Oh man, I just couldn't imagine. Minus 40 degrees in this training? God damn, dude. Continue. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
So normally like through our winter courses at the Black Rapids Training Center, which is a little north of Denali, our temperatures are right at about negative 10 all the way up down to negative 40. And it's a perfect time to train because we're issuing all these soldiers all these different mittens and the 7-layer cold weather system that they've never seen or they've never been allowed to wear because, snivel gear, that's the devil. You can't wear that in the Army.
Exactly.
And here we're showing them, hey, you can use this, and here's how you use it. You'd be surprised, how many soldiers they don't realize how to properly layer and be comfortably cool. And so we give them these classes. We say, okay, now we're going to be, we're going to be out in the mountains for the next 6 days straight. You pack it in, you pack it out. It's going to be negative 30, and we're teaching you how to move as a squad. And we're going through avalanche scenarios. We're going through pulling Akio, which is a sled that they're actually pulling behind with an Arctic 10-man tent and a heater, their water, their diesel fuel, and that diesel fuel for the stove. And at the same time, it's, when you're out here, how do you get more water? You just can't request it. So we're teaching them how to properly melt snow because no one realizes it, but you can actually burn snow while you're trying to melt it to drink more water.
Wait, you're saying you can burn snow?
You can burn snow. It's like, if you drink it, it's like licking an ashtray.
We used to. I mean, that's a joke that you say for a soldier that just can't get it. He's so dumb that he burns snow. So I just can't believe that it actually happened. That's actually a fact.
Absolutely, that's an absolute thing.
Go ahead.
And up here, the soldiers, we issue them, they get their units and they get skis. And they look at these skis that look like they're from the 1940s, and instantly, the soldiers give them these nicknames of like Death Flats or the White Rocket, and they're expected to train on them. They have no idea how to use them or even set up the bindings. And throughout our 15-day course, that CWLC, that Cold Weather Leaders course, 7 days of that is actual skiing. That's downhill skiing, cross-country skiing. We teach them how to use them, and they end up leaving the schoolhouse, calling the skis by their actual names, the Elan skis, and they are more than confident, and they actually find out that they love skiing and they like moving on skis in a tactical formation. It's perfect.
Now, there's
built that confidence.
Yeah, I can imagine. There's still questions. Somebody was talking about. We just dropped it in the chat here. That there was I guess a mountaineering badge. I guess what's the rules on other? I guess Sergeant Major or the Army Daily was asked, but since Alaska is home to the NWTC and mountaineering school, and the mountaineering badge being authorized, any chance of it happening soon?
Yes. So what he's referring to is the Ram's Head badge. We do have a sister schoolhouse. It's run by National Guard, and they're out in Vermont. And they teach mountaineering courses. There's a basic and an advanced mountaineering course. They teach that year round. We can only teach it during the summer, obviously, due to the temperatures and the cold. And once you pass this course, it's just as if you went to, aerosol school. You get an echo identifier, and it's a badge-producing school. Well, that Ram's Head device is only authorized if you go to our sister schoolhouse and if you're in the National Guard stationed in that state. This has kind of been going back and forth as far as trying to get that badge, and it hasn't yet. But if you do go to the NWTC mountaineering courses, either the basic or the advanced course, it does produce an echo identifier on your SQI and your ERB.
Now, does it? No, you're still here. We're just all paying attention to you, man. we're politely intently listening. Now, most of it, how is it? And this just a question. How is it that okay, I want to go to the school. How do I get to go to the school? Is it, or any of these schools in HRs? Can anybody show up? If I'm stationed at Fort Gordon or I'm stationed over at Fort Bliss, can I attend this course? How do I do it?
Absolutely. So our summer courses, the basic military mountaineering course, the advanced military mountaineering course, those are both in ATARs. The cold weather courses I was talking about are also in ATARs. We've had Marines, we've had Navy soldiers, soldiers from Ranger battalions, especially during the mountain phase. A lot of the RIs will come to our schoolhouse to get that echo identifier, and then they will stay on to attend that advanced course. So that way they can have that echo, that military mountaineering identifier on their ERB as an RI. Yeah, absolutely. It's in ATARs. We've had foreign coalition soldiers attend the school. It's open to everyone, and it's a phenomenal course.
Now, all in all, how many courses in themselves have? I mean, because you just rattled off like a bunch of blah 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 blah. So how many total schools do you have?
So the courses that we offer within our schoolhouse is the 2 summer courses, which is the basic and advanced mountaineering courses. And those purposes is just to train the soldiers in the fundamental knowledge and the skills that's going to be required to successfully conduct small unit operations in your typical mountainous terrain found throughout the world, i.e. mostly Afghanistan, where we've really been operating and seeing a lot of that mountainous terrain. And with those mountaineering, I mean, it's not just walking up a hill. On day 2, you're summiting your first mountain. And it's an eye-opener. You know, guys can say, hey, you know, I've been rucking. I can ruck flat for years. And they attend the schoolhouse, and day 2 breaks them off. They're like, I've never rucked going up a mountain. Or they've never done land nav on a mountain and having used an altimeter.
Right.
And then in the wintertime, we offer, you know, those 3 courses, that the CWLC Cold Weather Leaders course, the CWAC, the Cold Weather Orientation course for your leaders, and then the ISCR, the Isolation course. So all in all total, we offer 5 courses. And then in the summertime, we can also do a tailored course for your leaders. It's kind of a 5-day course just to give a brief overview of how we do in the winters just for those summer courses. And then we also get contacted a lot by different ODA groups, Special Forces, Navy SEALs, FBI, just to do training for them. We just wrapped up this past spring training up some Marines, Marshal guys. So we get contacted all the time, and we are always willing to tailor our training just because our training environment, we're in the mountains. We're operating in the subarctic. And if they want to push north and go up into the Arctic, we can support that. We can do that for them. Oh, wow.
I mean, how long have you been cadre at the course?
This is my starting my 6th winter. I've been in Alaska, Fairbanks, Alaska, for 5.5 years now.
Wow. I'm guessing you like it.
Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. Being outdoors, the summers are phenomenal with almost 23 and a half hours of daylight, and then in the winters, same with the darkness. But you never get tired and sick of a season. You know, when you're about this sick of summer, fall comes and you're going into winter. And when right about the time you're like, yeah, I'm kind of tired of the cold and the snow, you go right into spring and summer. It's perfect.
Oh, wow. Damn. I'm just looking at some of the pictures that I got, and holy crap, these are some good. It is freaking cold. I don't see. Yeah. I see nobody. I see nobody enjoying the cold here.
Oh no. As long as you layer properly, you can enjoy and go out there. And some of the other things that we do as well. When I was talking about our coalition partners, we also work with the Canadian Rangers to train some of the Canadian National Guard and check on some of the local Inuits that are 500 miles north of the Arctic Circle. We go up there for anywhere from 3 to 4.5 weeks at a time when we do help them out with their training. And when I was up there about 2 years ago, Our highest temperature we reached was negative 63, and then we got caught in a blizzard. It was negative 102.
Oh, wow.
And because of the training that we teach in our schoolhouse, we were perfectly fine. You know, we just kind of hunkered down, waited out the wind chills and everything, and then once it warmed back up to about negative 60, we were right back out on snow machines, you know, getting our mission done.
That's awesome. I had some pictures of rolling. I have rolling media right now of you guys sucking in the cold. I'm sorry, I'm just not a cold person. I mean, I don't mind. I don't mind a little bit of cold, but it wasn't until I had a soldier one time that was stationed in Alaska that then PCS to Germany when I was there, and literally he was literally saying, you're not wearing the Gore-Tex right, Sarnt. And I'm like, what? I'm sorry, what did you say? You're not wearing the Gore-Tex right. And I'm like, oh, what do you mean I'm not wearing the Gore-Tex right? Here, Sarnt, hang on. And he this. I mean, I didn't mind. I mean, it didn't bother me because if I'm wearing the Gore-Tex wrong, hey, you know, school me up, man. And so this kid, I guess he was there and he went to the course. And this was back in the day, and he showed me how to layer Gore-Tex the way you're supposed to layer Gore-Tex. And holy crap, I made everybody at that point. Everybody at the time was layering up the way it's supposed to, because some of the feedback that he got from the school, I mean, was some of the training that he got was legit, man. It was just like, I didn't even think that there was a way to layer Gore-Tex the way. I mean, he gave us a class. I was like, hey, let's go over here and shoot the shit, and you know, let's see what you got. And then he laid it out, showed what the extended cold weather system layout is and what the proper nomenclature of it was and all that. I'm like, damn, dude. All right, cool, thanks. And then that was it, man. I was sold. And ever since then, like you were saying, it's the I think snivel gear is like I don't know, like garlic or a cross to a sergeant major, how it was to a vampire. You know, it's kind of like.
Absolutely.
You see some.
Absolutely. You always had to hide it, make it look like you weren't wearing it.
Yeah, exactly. And then I'm like, dude, this is kind of messed up. You got a freaking sergeant major, bro, getting the ass over something that's and you were stationed in Germany. This kid was saying it's not cold here, and mind you, we're at Hohenfels somewhere. Oh my god, dude, just how did you?
Oh yeah.
This kid was like loving it. He was out, and he was in his element. So again, the value of your training that you guys have put your students through is definitely felt throughout the force. Because mind you, this was back in, pre 2010. It shows. How long has the school been there? I mean, what's the history of the school?
So that could be almost a whole nother radio show, to be honest with you. I mean, in 1941, the 87th Mountain Infantry was established, and our schoolhouse was formally done in 1942, and it was known as the Mountain Training Center at Camp Hale, Colorado. In 48, we were changed for the School for Arctic Operations, and that was moved to Big Delta, Alaska, which is now known as Fort Greely. And from 48 on, we've been training the soldiers how to operate and sustain in subarctic and Arctic conditions. And, kind of talking about the schoolhouse, when you think of an Army schoolhouse, what are you thinking in your mind cadre-wise? What are you thinking?
Oh, it's standard. You're going to normal billets. Everyone's walking around freaking. Well, I mean, some of the stuff.
I mean, like how many cadre would you think?
Oh shit!
With everything that I've been talking about, what are you thinking?
Oh, I'm thinking probably at least during day-to-day ops, probably 10, 15 active on the platform doing stuff, and then probably 30, 40 for support personnel to run it.
So right now we have, and we're operating at full strength. We have 16 instructors. Our operations section is 4, and I am the senior. I'm the operations NCOIC. I was an instructor. I was moved to a senior instructor. Then I was the training branch NCOIC, and I have since transitioned over to that operational role right now, just to give that extra support to them. So 16 instructors is what we work with.
Damn.
And out of those 16 instructors, when you come to the schoolhouse, you go to SIFTIC, where you get to learn how to properly teach, how to properly speak to your target audience. What that's doing is that's giving you that hotel identifier. Once you are you fully qualified and to teach summer and winter, which can take anywhere from 12 to 15 months, our cadre are authorized SSAP. They make an extra $150 a month. And because of the mission and what they're doing, they're already KD complete on everything with their staff sergeants. Every year for the past 6 years, 2 to 3 is what we pick up for Sergeant First Class. And that's, awesome. I mean, you got to think that's 2 to 3 out of 16. So we're doing a whole lot with not a whole lot of manpower. And you start looking at the promotion rates, and I'll tell you what, just from writing these guys as NCOERs, I wish there was, I've been in positions where it's like, man, I can't think of another bullet to put on here. But with these guys, you're wishing you had 5 more pages to put everything on it that they've done. It's ridiculous.
There's some
it's a phenomenal place.
Somebody's in there made a comment that there was a soldier that came down from Alaska that was a heat casualty in SLC on day 1 at PT. It was 85 degrees at 0500 in South Carolina. There's another comment in here asking about eyebrows and mustaches being wiped off when you guys do PT at -20. What's up with that?
Yeah. So and that's one of the things. So once it's cold, -20 or colder, we wear baklava. And there's a way we can kind of fold them so it looks kind of like the old school sailor's beanie cap, a black beanie. -20 and colder, if you pull that down while you're doing PT or running, you're still going to sweat. And that sweat will actually perspire to the outside of the beanie, and it's going to look like you got frosted, all like just in white frosting all over that beanie. And when you're done running, it's like, okay, well, I want to take this off. If you take that off, that the eyebrow hair, the mustache, if you have one, any type of facial hair you have, it's frozen at this point. And when you take that off, it's going to remove it as well. So what we teach them is, yes, you just finished PT, now go indoors, do your cool down, and you need to wait before removing that. Let that kind of thaw out a little bit before you remove it. Otherwise, absolutely, you're removing eyebrows and mustaches and everything else.
That's freaking unreal. All right, man. You got any comments? Anything you want to say before we cut out?
Yeah. Hey, real quick. So with our cadre that we have, we're always looking for more cadre. We're looking at staff sergeants. Hey, start talking to branch. We're looking for KD complete, DA select staff sergeants to come to work at our schoolhouse. It's a phenomenal place to be. Promotion rate is amazing. One of our training events. Are you familiar with Denali real quick?
No, go ahead. Tell us.
Used to be known as Mount McKinley, and at the end of President Obama's administration, he changed the name back to Mount Denali. It's the highest mountain in Northern America. To get to the top, it's at 20,310 feet. And with our cadre, we send teams to summit Denali. And what's that doing? What that is doing is that's teaching them the different terrain, crevasse rescues, and seeing what it's like going up and down that specific terrain. Because we're also on call as part of the rescue and recovery assets for the park rangers on Mount Denali. And so we're constantly sending instructor cadre up there. And if you want to go out and summit a 20,310-foot mountain and re-enlist at the top, which if you go to our NWTC Facebook page, you can see some of these photos of these cadre that have done it. There's an opportunity for that. And everything that our cadre and our instructors do and teach at our schoolhouse, it's required for us to be 2 to 3 levels above what any student could ever possibly do. So with that, prior to our mountaineering phases, we go out to Boulder, Colorado, and we're climbing vertical climbs for 15 days straight. And at the end, it's a culminating event where you're pushing anywhere from 1,200 to 1,600 feet vertical climbing. It's absolutely amazing. It's one of the best assignments that you could ever think of.
Yeah, well, I'll just go ahead and stay cold. Stay warm at the base of the hill. Hey, so real quick, what MOSs are you taking? Somebody just asked. Hey, okay.
So,
what MOSs?
Absolutely. We are taking all MOSs. My MOS right now, I am an 88 Mike. I have 11 Bravos. We have 11 Charlies. We have one of our instructors is actually with the Army band, and she plays the trumpet. So, no, we are open to all MOSs, staff sergeant. If you are KD complete, start talking to your branch. Let them know you want to come, come work out with us.
Nice. Well, I have a feeling we're gonna have a bunch of DMs going to Phil anyways to go over there. So they might you just might get your people. Hey, Sergeant Tanner. Hey, thanks very much for coming on. We appreciate you giving us a real quick spiel about the about your Northern Warfare Training Facility. We appreciate
Absolutely,
it.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
All right, man. You have a good night.
Absolutely, thank you.
All right, take it easy. All right, so we're going to continue the show. We have we will have the utmost appreciation for Command Sergeant Major Phil Blaisdell to come on from U.S. Army Alaska. Again, I didn't know we had a whole command like that set up. So that's pretty freaking cool. And again, thank you, Sergeant Tanner, for shooting the breeze with us and giving us the deets on something that I will never attend because I'm cold. I don't like the cold. I don't mind it being cool. I just can't stand the freaking the -12 shit. I think the -4 is what I
said negative 102 at one point there. I was
Yeah,
like, no,
yeah.
I will not be okay.
Right, exactly. And you can go ahead and just forget that, and we'll just go ahead and continue with the show and say, yeah, I'm not gonna, I'm gonna
keep my
we'll got our
miserable
blankets.
Summers when it's 115 here sometimes. Like, why do I live here?
Exactly.
It's hot.
It's
I'm
hot.
Fat.
You start sweating.
Don't invite me nowhere in July.
Yeah, exactly. You look at the fridge, or you look at anything. You look outside and you're sweating.
Going to the lake or a beach, I'm
Right.
not going. Well,
Exactly.
All right, I'm gonna keep on suffering through that.
Oh,
And
man.
not 100 and nothing.
Totally. I think most of it is like I said, when a soldier, he was stationed in Alaska and he went through that same training. He went to the cold weather. He went to that Arctic training, and he showed us how to wear Gore-Tex right, dude. I was like, and it worked. I was running around rolling that stuff. And it is. I'm telling you, I was like, that's what I'm talking about. I was correct. You're wearing that Gore-Tex wrong. This is how you wear the X-Weeks. And they're like, okay. And then, all right, Roger Sergeant. And then we'd make them, and it was awesome. After that point,
Right.
Then
when you wear all that stuff.
Yeah, when you wear all that stuff, that's you're supposed to wear.
But they don't want to let you wear the formation.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I'm in Korea, freeze my butt off because they don't want me to wear my marshmallow suit. I want to wear that thing.
All that, but the behoovosphere always ruins it for soldiers when it comes to shit like that.
Just wear a uniform and some gloves.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
I want to walk out there looking like that kid on the Christmas Story, like a starfish.
Yeah, exactly. Most of the things.
Like Sergeant Spanky, it is 40 degrees out here today.
Exactly.
So?
Yeah, exactly. I'm walking out like a marshmallow man, just layered in Gore-Tex, going fall in. Let's do it. I would not. No, it would not be. I'm telling you, it's like soldiers that like to be stationed in really hot places and temperate places, desert places. You get used to it, I guess. And
yes.
You get it's overweight soldiers have extra insulation. Exactly. They have a you can hear them breathe while they're walking up to formation.
I will never forget, I was in AIT and they had us standing out there. It was December in South Carolina or Georgia. I was in Georgia, and my little drill sergeant, I call him little because he's about a foot shorter than me. So I'm looking down and I'm shivering out there. He's like, aren't you from South Dakota? Why are you cold? I'm like, I don't stand outside for an hour in the cold.
Exactly. It's like, aren't you from the desert? Don't you like the heat? No, ass. Because I'm not out there roasting in it.
Right. I did so many push-ups.
Yeah. Oh my God. I think leadership, when it comes to and going back to what we were saying about how leaders need to just change, I think right now we're kind of stuck at I don't know, we need to break through the ceiling. Oh, I'm about ready to do buzzwords again. We need to push ourselves over the line. We need to have leaders right now just realize that the days of stupidity, soldiers, like you said, soldiers are going to call you on it. They're going to call you out on it so bad it's going to be like, oh well, sorry, Major, that this is authorized, and I heard on WTF Nation Radio that you're supposed to wear Gore-Tex this way. Then you're like, what? You should be listening to a Facebook page. And the next thing you know, they're all running over.
Or they just went and looked it up because it tells you there's a whole book.
Yeah, there is.
A little FM type thing.
There's a FM now, that tells you can take a nap. They're 7 dash.
Gotta wear cold weather gear.
Yeah, exactly. Cold weather gear with a nap. How about that? FM 7-22 of excellence. Anyways. Hey, so we have a show every night. Well, except for the weekends. And so we have Monday, Tuesday, and then, of course, Thursday, Friday shows. We have a Monday edition with myself and Flash. We have Tuesday Pop Culture Warrior with Michael Cataskio and, of course, Radar, also known as CQ. We have Sergeant's Time with myself and me and Smeggy. And then, of course, we have Kaz and Pookie on Friday Night Radar. This is like the first of the month of spookiness. It's time to... This is Halloween. This is... Oh, man, I can't wait. Every time there's... This is the song. I'm hanging out with the kids. I know Princess Eyes. I gotta work on my singing voice. The Oogie Boogie song. You got men. You got to be the kings, and sing alongs with the kids, and that's got to be standard. You got to sing The Nightmare Before Christmas, because that's what it's all about. Are they having any COVID restrictions? Have they canceled Halloween?
No, actually, it was just in our local news today that the city of Killeen is having their normal 2-hour trick-or-treat times.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's going to be normal then.
Yes.
I was thinking about taking the little guy out and wearing his, I'm going to put on his Kylo Ren outfit, because that's what he's been since he's been a kid.
Does he ever? Does he still choose to do this?
Yeah, the Kylo Ren stuff. Yeah, he likes. He just it's scary because we all know what he does to his dad. So I don't like. Hey, I'm sorry. I don't like this. I don't like this look you're going for. You want to be like a stormtrooper or something like that? I can get you some armor or suit you up like a Mandalorian or something like that. Nah, he wants to wear the dark side of the Force shawl, and he puts the little Kylo Ren helmet on.
Aww.
And yeah, so I don't want to tell him that there might be something going on with the Halloween. So, anyways.
Oh.
Because he's gonna freak out if I say, hey, it might be canceled or something like that. Then he's gonna activate his lightsaber and start tearing up the neighborhood or something like that.
Right.
Or we'll just
I'm sure that there's gonna be something.
Yeah. I'll have to find out if there's one of those trunk or treats things that are probably happening with the unit. I'll probably show up to do something like that, and then and then hang out. So today was again the first day of October, of Spooky Month. And today we had Command Sergeant Major Philip Blaisdell, who, of course, we played a video for you in the beginning, and we discussed a little bit about what he went through. This has been like the most laid back, chill senior leader show we've done in a long time. I mean, I can't. I felt like we were just talking. I didn't feel like I had a. Well, sorry, Major. How about this? It was just whatever. So, he is the Command Sergeant Major and Senior Enlisted Advisor, like he said, to U.S. Army Alaska. Provides training and ready forces in support of worldwide unified land operations and supports the U.S. Indo-PACOM Pacific Command Theater of Cooperation program in order to secure and contribute to a stable and secure operational environment. Man, we already got another. Man, the guest is like, what the hell's up with these guests? This is Monday. Okay, to finish up our cyber series, we had August Cole and Pete Singer, the writers of Ghost Fleet and Burn In, and then we had General Hersey coming on, the commanding general of Fort Gordon and the Cyber Center of Excellence. No, I'm sorry, General Bacino's like the second to the last guest of the cyber series. Colonel Bacino, you guys remember him, right? He's the dude that that came on, and the first guest coming on and representing the U.S. Army as in an official capacity. That Lieutenant Colonel Joe Bacino is now Colonel Joe Bacino.
Yes, the whole bird.
He is the whole bird, and is also the PAO, the Public Affairs Officers for 18th Airborne Corps, and they're going to talk about he's going to talk about the Innovation Challenge. You're going to start seeing some graffiti and propaganda and all their adverts being broadcasted up before we have them on. This Innovation Challenge is one of those things that to discuss a pretty interesting concept that 18th Airborne Corps and General Carrillo's one of his initiatives out for you, the soldier, going to be able to assist and help the Corps and any portion of the unit that you're part of. And we're going to discuss that. We're going to go more in the weeds and all that and discuss that. But it's a pretty good event. It's a pretty good deal. I think it's pretty cool. Tuesday on 6th October is going to be Ralph Garman. He is the actor-writer known for Ted and Two for the Money, Eagle Eye, and has been married to Kerry Watson since April 2005, and they have one kid. He also hangs out with that Kevin Smith. So
yes, I saw that.
Yeah, he hangs out with Kevin Smith, a comic book man. Can't wait. It just has like all these guests and stuff like that. Well, the following Tuesday, man. So Chris Bernetti decided to talk to him. You little disloyal shit. I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. You guys remember Chris Bernetti? He was one of my former soldiers, and for the longest time, he didn't know I was ICE. And so now he's a big Hollywood actor, and he's all big and famous. And now he wants to talk to the Hollywood Coast. Okay, fine. So
I will tell you, he said Tuesdays or Wednesdays work better for me.
Okay.
That is why he's going on CQ, since his stuff does go under his genre now as well too.
So yes, you're right. Now, okay, I'm not butthurt. I'm just glad to see Chris coming back. He's going to be 13 October.
Absolutely.
13 October. Chris Bernetti has been, he's been here like 3 times. Talking about all of his projects, talking about some of the programs that he's been involved in, his community service that he's done for the awareness of domestic violence and veteran homelessness and homelessness. He began his TV and career film, spending nearly a decade in the memory of the U.S. Army, a former PSYOPer, 11 Bravo. He's a returning guest, but he's making his first appearance on Pop Culture Warrior on Tuesday. Then the following Tuesday after that is on 20 October. You guys know who Louis Anderson is?
Yeah.
He's the guy. You remember that guy that was on Coming to America, and he was washing the lettuce, and Arsenio Hall and Eddie Murphy's characters walked in, and he's like, "Hi, I'm working up to manager, and in 2 years, whatever." He gives his little dialogue and diatribe back and forth to Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall, and that's where the big bucks come in. That comment that he makes right there. And he gives a big, bro hug to Eddie Murphy. That Louis Anderson, who was on Coming to America. He is the iconic comedian Louis Anderson, a 3-time Emmy Award winner, and is one of the most country's recognized and adored comics. Named by Comedy Central as one of 100 greatest stand-up comedians of all time, his career has spanned more than 30 years. He is a best-selling author, a star of his own stand-up specials and sitcoms, and continues to tour the country and performing to standing-room-only crowds worldwide. On 20 October, on Pop Culture Warrior, he's going to be here. So make sure you tune in. Of course, there'll be more adverts coming out with that. Then following that, on Sergeant's Time, that Thursday, we were just talking about Command Sergeant Major Billy Piliot coming on and giving his first ever, I think this is our first ever Green Book AAR. A Green Book AAR on. I can't believe we're doing this on the Functional Veteran Center of Excellence, but this is like straight up. This is going to be global. I mean, I don't think we've ever had that.
I know, and because I'm so tired of buzzwords, I kind of came up with a new one while you guys were talking.
What's that?
I was like thinking synonyms. I think it should be magnificence instead of excellence.
Of magnificence.
Magnificent.
The functional veteran. The functional veteran center of magnificence.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to remember that.
We'll work that over.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to see if I can roll that in my, because I have a specific rhythm when I speak. And when I do the intros and I, blah 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 blah, it's gotta have a flow. So, broadcasting live. So I would have to say broadcasting live from the Functional Veteran Center of Magnificence. See, that's kind of like, it's gotta be.
Then maybe we shouldn't just change. We'll be excellent, and all the other ones that are excellent need to be magnificent.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. For you guys that, if you guys know of any music, veteran music, please hit us up and DM us. Hit the inbox on WTF Nation Radio's Facebook page, or hit contact at WTFNationRadio.com. Because what we're going to do is we're going to start building our musical database, because we have all the music we want to play, but I think these last 2-3 years of the same music is kind of, I think you guys need to get some more. You guys need more of a variation. We had the Bayou Bandits coming on here and providing some free music, and we had Dave Bray coming on here. So I think that it'll be great to have more of a diverse anything too. It doesn't matter. We play anything.
Reach out if you know some bands that are, especially have a veteran or two in them.
Yep.
I want to hear it.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to hear it.
Spanky, yeah, I'll be honest with you, and you can't be this like American Idol. Spanky is the Simon Cowell. She's she's like, what is this?
I have a very eclectic taste in music.
Yeah.
So if it's rock, rap, country, like I said, we have a lot of different hosts on here too. Maybe one host doesn't, I don't really like it, but another host might. I'm like, if it doesn't suck, I'm gonna let them listen to it.
Yeah.
It was.
Send it. Send it, exactly. I know there's one time Spanky said this. She even quoted Simon Cowell by saying, "This if this was a food, this would taste like chocolate ice cream and onions." And I was like, "That's an interesting taste." Thank you very much. Try saying that. Yeah, exactly. 3 times fast. The Functional Veteran Center of Magnificence. The Functional Veteran Center of Magnificence. The Functional Veteran Center of Magnificence. The circle is now complete. When I left you, I was but a lunar. Now I am magnificent. There you go. So I just got to work it in the repertoire. Anyways, so dude, this lineup is fucking awesome. I can't wait. And there's more like people trying to get on the calendar too. So
we're working it. We're working it.
That's awesome. But anyways. Again, thank you, U.S. Army Alaska, for allowing Command Sergeant Major Phil Blaisdell to come on, and we totally appreciate your support to the WTF Nation. And again, that Sergeant Major Pittman, bro, I don't know what to say, man. Your Master Gunner just called. Hey, hi. He probably didn't think he was going to get connected. That's probably what it was.
Yeah.
He probably used like, oh, hi.
I mean, no, we usually do not take calls when we have a guest on.
Right. But
I will get your questions out of the chats, guys. But it happens.
Exactly.
We answered.
And that's what you get for being late. You just totally in front of 1.3 million people. Just sounded like you didn't hear the podcast. So there you go. Anyways, you guys have a good night. And we will see you on Friday for Friday Night Freedom with Kaz and Pookie. So you all have a good night. Shots.
Hey, this is SEAC retired John Wayne Troxel. You're listening to WTF Nation Radio, the station of choice for all of the badass MFers on the planet.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Intergalactic horse, and we'll ride into the sun, yes, into the sun, where we'll take the day by planting a flag right there at its source. Space Force. Now they say that they've discovered life up there on Mars, so let's blow it all to hell and then play flame it for hours. We'll paint the moon red, white, and blue for no other reason than we wanted to. Oh, Jupiter, imagine what you could become. A stupid, pointless planet turned into a giant gun. And Russia, so sorry, have to burst your bubble. Be a good sport now, sit back, relax, and watch us through the bubble as we celebrate the greatness of the United Planet America. Space Force, we'll saddle up our intergalactic horse and we'll ride into the sun, yes, into the sun, where we'll take the day by planting a flag right there at its source. Space Force. Now we'll go to infinity and beyond, beyond. You'll hear our manly voices singing Space Force strong. Though critics say sound doesn't travel in space, to which we reply sound will do as we say. Oh, Captain Kirk, your achievements, though notable and fine, as far as we're concerned, this is Deep Space Mine. And big fans, but Lord Vader, step away from the lightsaber. There can only be one, of course. Space Force. Ra-da-da-da-da-da, ra-da-da, ra-da-da, ra-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-dum-dum-dum-dum, ra-da-da-da-da-da, ra-da-da, ra-da-da, ra-da-da-da-da-da-dum-dum-dum-dum-dum-dum. Space Force, Space Force, we'll saddle up our intergalactic horse and we'll ride into the sun, yes, into the sun, where we'll take the day by planting a flag right there at its source. Space Force. Space Force.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.